see there. I was reading this book. So stupid. We're live. That's my code word.
Yeah,
it's live. I didn't commit to the bit.
It's okay. No, we didn't realize that for a second there. I thought you actually started reading it and got engrossed.
JJ gave it to me. It's pretty good.
What is it? Well, no promotions and stuff, right? Or is it okay?
Well, this book is 30
Yeah,
years old. This is a book from JJ's childhood that I bought from him, and then he loaned it to me. It is a OG RPG Choose Your Own Adventure book.
Yes.
Yeah,
Love it.
there's a series of these. Do you remember these?
Yeah, I remember reading one where someone gets sucked into a black hole.
I'll let you know for this one.
I died like on the first choice. I was like, this book
I
sucks.
was cheated.
We had those Choose Your Own Adventure Goosebumps books. I could like never live. I always died.
I always read them in order for hard mode. I'm sorry. Please go ahead, DM.
No, I'm good. Yeah, speaking of choosing your own adventure, what adventure you guys get to choose today? Welcome back. Last time, well, does anybody want to recap?
Not the guy who was only there for half the session.
All right, maybe I'll make you two roll for it then.
All right.
Or we can split it again. You can do the first half, and I can do
that
it.
works. That works.
The second half.
Okay, yeah, because that's just watching. Yeah, that's fine.
And I just
All right.
rolled really good for it.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we were coming out of a mind flayer fight. And we got our asses handed to us, and we were on the brink of demise when Zara regained consciousness, reached out to her goddess, and thanks to divine intervention, we all survived. So that was a very humbling experience for us. So coming out of the last session, we realized that the Illithid had done something to... Matt, what's the name of that tower we were fighting on top of? The Brass Palace?
The Brass Tower.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's
Or the
like...
Tower of Brass.
Yeah, so there's these gyroscopic rings on top of the Tower of Brass, and they were like misbehaving, and something was happening. There's some kind of like weird temporal shit going on with it, and we know we have to stop it, but we don't know how or why it's doing that. So Daresh Kalgressa, who fought with us and also almost died, was like, we need to get to the Arch Scholar. She's the one that knows how to disable this. Jump in my shuttle. I'll rush us back to the council chambers and we'll go get her. But then we got attacked on the way back to the council chamber by like bots sent in from the First Legion of Flowhelg that are also attacking the city. Shit's bananas. Our shuttle went down, it crashed, a bunch of guards died, we managed to survive, Kalgressa broke both his legs, I splinted one and Zara healed the other, good for us. Kalgressa sent us with one of the surviving guards with his word to pass on to the council that he wants to vote for the Exodus Protocol, and he also took off something off his neck and gave it to the guard to hang on to. And then
We know what that something was.
Out of character, yes. In character, nah, we dummies.
Oh, okay. All right.
So then we went to the council chambers, but we kept getting attacked, and like other people kept getting attacked by incoming First Legion bots. We get to the council chambers, and what is it, Matt? A compass? The Platinum Compass? One of their big scary defense bots, like, scanned us, and...
The Platinum Compass wasn't actually there, but...
Was it a hologram?
Yeah.
Okay. So it scanned Adraxa and tagged her as, like... Because Adraxa's in the military in this time, because we're 10 years in the future. So it scanned Adraxa as, like, a 3rd Legion Flowhelgian soldier that's currently AWOL. So that made me sick to my stomach. And that's where I forget what happened, because then I stopped taking notes. I'm sorry, I'm a bad player.
It was a traumatic event that would probably stop you from taking notes as soon as you heard the word Thunderstone.
I was disassociating past that point.
Alright, so at that point, right, we all get into the council, right, and we give them Kalgressa's vote, which is for the Exodus Protocol. But then we alert the council to the situation with the rings and why we had to go back to get Ace the Sith? I can never say that right. I always listen. Yeah. And we needed her help to go stop the rings at the Tower of Brass. unfortunately, our shuttle had been shot down, but luckily one of the other council members helped her make a very precise teleportation circle,
Yeah.
which we then, I think there was some shenanigans with Brunin in the middle of it too.
Yeah,
While we were doing that, going to bathrooms and stuff, you know. And then, right, we teleported over. Luckily, actually pitting pretty darn close to our mark, and we made our way over to the control panel for the rings, but there was something on them. This is where I can't exactly remember what messed with us when we tried to alter the controls and shot Ace with it back and knocked her unconscious, right? Then we had to go on a little walk around, and I think I sliced up the second thing that was hiding in the control panel room.
Oh, yeah.
Luckily, then we got Ace with it back on her feet, and I think this is where it starts to get a little fuzzy for me, too.
Mike, why don't you take us home?
Yeah, send it all away.
Guy who left early, how do you think this ended?
Yeah.
Let's just hear what happened after that.
You guys stopped the rings from spinning, I hope. You bashed the control panel and stopped the rings, and you saved the city.
We did it, everybody. We stopped the war. Take inspiration.
Everyone go home. We're good now.
We did it, everyone.
No. No. You did good. You did do good. A few things happened. You saw the fleet, the brass fleet, going over the, horizon as the sun was starting to come up. Aphysith was talking about how it was probably already too late that that whatever the Illithids had set in motion was going to happen one way or another. Like stirring, tea into water. Once you get to a point, it's done. It's already tea. You can't make it go back to water.
Oh yeah.
And then you said, "Well, then break the cup," which triggered some kind of a realization in her.
Smart.
As
Big
she
brain
thought
time.
of. Yeah. So the plan she came to was, "You're right. Let's let them into the city after the Exodus. At the right time, we drop the defenses. Some of the people will have to stay back to hold them off long enough to make that sacrifice. But when they do, the armies will come in, and then it'll be perfect timing. Heegarisheil will just escape."
The two armies that want to kill Heegarisheil will hopefully just fight each other instead.
We'll find out, though. Of course, unfortunately, this was poor timing as the fleet went over to try and bombard them, but was decimated by the swarms of bots flying upwards. Okay.
All right, let's do it.
And yeah, so at this point, I'll say that you hear a voice in your head, Adraxa. "This is Etty. We are awaiting your instructions, as it seems that these people are incapable of fighting without getting themselves destroyed. We need someone to issue commands. The war is starting."
All right, so is anyone with us besides Aphysith? It's the three of us and
the
her?
only other thing was that the Colbert Runcanson ran down when you first arrived at the Brass Tower. He was with you, and he descended to run to the Cathedral of Sand to try to get that fixed.
Yep.
They're beginning the Exodus protocol.
Fuck! Why did I do that? Sorry. Just pretend I
As the sun rises over the horizon, and it's
mistakes were made.
blindingly bright.
All right, so I turned to Aphysith. We cannot sacrifice the army of embers. We cannot just let them kill themselves while you escape. How much time do they need before they can withdraw?
It depends on how quick they are, and I do not know what the range is on this. We could try to hold them off long. You understand, we've never tested the Exodus protocol. So we don't know how quickly he can move. By my calculations, we should be out of range based on the size of the rings, the speed at which it was moving when we got here, assuming the temporal disruption by the Callian and...
Okay, 5 minutes? 5 hours?
10 minutes to get out of the city. Maybe another 10 minutes after that to be certain that we are out of range. We could try to divert power to speed it up, maybe, but we have to load the people in first. What we forgot.
Eddie, if you can hear me, just hold the line. Maybe 10 more minutes, and then get ready to withdraw quickly.
A flash of fire, and Etty appears in front of you. Yes, I can hear you.
That's amazing.
No, this is nothing. No. I guess I should have done that to begin with. It was probably a bit off-putting, talking to you from afar. Unless you people do that too.
I never get used to magic.
I learned so much about you. It's so strange. You have very versatile magic.
You've heard about me?
Well, no, not you. I mean, it was a generalization.
Oh, our people. Yes, of course. Everyone's heard of the Mates of Fate.
We've only ever heard stories of how demanding world's people are. So,
You do have our gratitude. It will not be much longer. We're going to lower the defenses on purpose. Let them swarm. We're laying a trap, so we just need you to hold the line about 10 more minutes, and then withdraw.
I like traps. I also like withdrawing. That sounds good. But we'll make sure that we hold them until the right time.
Thank
Where
you.
do you want them to come in?
Our scholar.
We should try to find a way. There is a room down in the brass tower. We can issue commands from there. So she starts to lead you guys, assuming there's no complaints. Downstairs into the tower, there is a room. Within the room itself, you see this model of the city laid out upon a table. It's intricately carved. And make an Arcana check, anyway.
Allow me.
Oh, I forgot how bad I am at Arcana.
You know. 6.
Well,
19.
Hey.
there you go.
You pick it up. Yeah, the rest of you, it's a mundane, fancy looking table. You pick up a sense that the table's not just, like a little model that someone tinkered with and whittled. It's actually an illusion that is a view in detail of what the city would look like from above, along with the surrounding landscape. So it is, in fact, equivalent to seeing an aerial view. Whether or not it comes from a high altitude ship or some other means.
Is it solid? Brennan walks up
You
to
try
it,
to-
tries to feel it.
Millions die as a massive hand descends from
Knock over like 6 people.
You just hear the sound of screaming suddenly silenced.
I saw
Yeah.
the
Put our thumb in the army then. What are we doing?
You just the worst, dumbest suicide ever. Just a thumb.
Hey, look, that's where we are.
That's like Monty Python, like the parts where Heegarisheil would just animate a big foot. All right.
No, I did this in Portal. I know how it works.
So, yeah, it's no. You just try. Your hand goes through as you go to touch it, and it's just this weird kind of heebie-jeebie feeling.
Hey guys, check this out. Just goes right through it.
It's just like you're walking in front of a projector.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But for you, it's the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
She goes. Aspecith just kind of looks at you.
All right, we have
Looks around.
important matters to attend to. Sorry.
People are dying every minute. All right. I have a map for you guys.
Oh boy.
So, I can pull this thing.
Also, I could not get fantasy grounds right.
Oh, okay. I will, if you want, I will drop it into the Discord chat as well.
You can watch the stream. I got you.
Oh, good point. I could just watch the stream. Thank you.
That's right, that works. Make
Let me
that
just pull
smaller.
it up.
'Cause that
I was about to like advertise ourselves, but then I was like, everyone that's here already knows our page. That was stupid.
Well, one of them is Matt. So,
And now one of them is me.
hi Storm
my
Unity. Thanks for joining us.
Okay. No, I'm not on Twitch.
You're not?
No? So we got somebody else there.
That is one of your screen names.
Which one is it?
Loopy doop.
You're not.
Oh wait, maybe it is.
I was gonna say.
I'm not watching it right now. So
Well,
maybe,
I
I don't know.
I can't wait to see what happens.
It's like I'm just talking. I'm getting this weird ass echo, and I don't get it.
I like that you called it a screen name, by the way, Ash.
I know.
Sorry,
I'm so
age,
old.
No.
handle or. All right. So that's coming up, or should come up. In the meantime,
Oh, we're doing
here
that
is
too.
kind of what you see. Oh no, it's too big for Discord.
Oh no, is it doing?
Just barely too big. So I'm going to try to.
You want to
gonna
fax
try
it to
it.
me or?
I got an idea.
Send it to my Game Boy.
I'm going to take a screenshot of the picture.
That would drop the resolution down. I mean, that would work.
Do it with
I
your
have
phone,
done
though.
that before.
Oh my god. Jankiest fix ever. Alright.
I'm glad no one pays to subscribe to us. They'd be like, where do I get my money back?
That's not true.
Oh, is this what we see?
This is more or less what you see, although in probably better detail. Yeah.
Okay.
It does, yeah, it does have that vibe. What you see, again, laid out is the walls of Heegarisheil, the kind of like tower defenses that they have at each of the kind of points where the wall hits a corner. You can see mountains to the east, Ilmater's Peak being prominent there. Kind of the more ragged Badlands to the south. Even the little island of Regana is seen. You can see there's some ships already, many of them already departing to the south. You see the iron vaults, the brick palace, massive. Even the glass hearth, although you'll notice that this picture is not entirely accurate because the little hologram thing you see, the tower itself is kind of blown up a bit at the top.
Which tower is that? The one in the middle with the blue orb at the top?
No, the one by the tree.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, because of everything that went down with Uebe. That little tiny tower is kind of splintered open. So, yeah, you see a more or less a map of the entire cityscape. So it does give you some way of being able to see. To the east, though, you see like a shifting trail of lines, almost like it looks like a bit of dust that's crawling across. Not quite like ants, more like just like an army of mites. Among it, maybe some things that look like beetles.
Beetle?
Actually, almost literally like small beetles
Beetles.
pointed towards Heegarisheil.
Well, that's terrifying.
She looks as well. She looks around for someone, you know, who can help her understand and assess the situation. Soon enough, you see a man approach in the standard military regalia of Heegarisheil. And he bows down. Beacon, our scholar, we know that the enemy has a number of different units. We are, I'm afraid, outnumbered. She goes, yes, I understand. We're not going to meet them in the field, do you understand? Obviously, we're going to hold them off for a siege. We have enough... No, this is not going to be a long siege. The kind of like faces in the room look dour. We are going to surrender the city. But in good time, the city itself will be empty. They can take it. In fact, they'll go with the city. I'm not making any sense right now, but it will make sense. Trust me when I tell you that every one of you will be safe tonight. We trust you, Abskara. We trust you. Alright. She kind of looked. Hey, Tavares says, somebody does. So, what can I tell you? Well, what do they have? We estimate they have probably... Yeah, the large units, the cuirasses, they are massive, they're slow moving, but they are pushing them towards the front lines. I think that they intend to use them to create a wall of their own. It will prevent any sort of charges, allow them to slowly advance safely. Okay, and how are they bombarding the city from afar? Yeah, she points to some of these tiny things. She, at this point, says, can we make this thing any larger? One of the others, like a tall, skinny fellow in, billowing robes, looks a bit more like someone you'd see at the Cathedral of Sand than at the Brass Tower. Does, swirls his arms, and then you see the map itself, almost like you were flying in towards it. And he starts to, move the similar gestures to almost to what you saw with the Mind Flayers, and it's kind of unsettling in that respect. As he's moving the map, you see the little dust mites that you saw become just the size of, large ants, those things that look like beetles, like grasshopper size now. They look, well, let me show you some of the pictures while I'm at it. So I've got some of them.
And these are the people that are approaching from the east, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So how are they launching these things into the city? Which ones, Mom? Well, there are the ones that are launching the monsters that take our people, and yes, we're calling them Creel bots. Here's where they're coming from, and these are the Creel Queens, we're calling them. You can see the little specks along their back where they launch those shrimp-like creatures.
How tall are they?
Oh, they're probably good 30 to 50 feet high. It is hard to estimate from here. They're massive, but from what we can tell, unless you are walking underneath of them, they are defenseless. It looks like they have a lot of the swarms still in them, but I don't think that they would be a terribly difficult target to hit if we can move in fast and keep a distance from them. However, if they launch their little swarms, we have a problem. So she says, well, how do we get to them?
We'll need to be a preemptive attack then.
Well, I think nothing is preemptive anymore. They're advancing. The fight will begin any moment. Hell, it has begun. Otherwise, the Reshka aggressor would be in this room. She looks in. What else do they have?
There's more.
Yeah. Well, you notice the things they launch, the little... They have these spear-like things that they're bombarding the walls with, trying to launch other things behind them. They release these hound-like creatures. We're calling these siege walkers. 1 second.
How long until they're here?
Yeah, maybe an hour, if that.
And how long until everyone's out of the city?
We have our engineers here trying to keep... The engineers are trying to work. We've heard the direction that they need to begin the Exodus protocol. They are currently rerouting power from a lot of the services throughout the city, the water, the aqueducts, everything. A lot of the magical things we have are all being diverted. That includes some of the defenses along the outer walls. She thinks for a moment. We might need those still. No, we need to leave the city quickly. We don't know how long the rings will be till the trap is set. Hey. And Fire Genasi looks at her. Yes? If we divert the defenses from the walls, it will mean that your people will be subjected to more threats. We can hold them off. Okay. Divert everything to the Exodus mechanism. Start the procedures. Alright. Our engineering core will have to stay here. We have some healers from the Glass Earth that will help if anyone is seriously injured. Where do you want them stationed? We have... Actually, you know what? Tell you what, I'll give you this little sheet I have that'll explain the units that are on your side.
That's good to know.
As someone hands a sheet of parchment to Ace Sith, I'll say that. So you've got a good bit of numbers. All in all, I would say you probably have just under 7,500 units as of right now, with the fleet mostly destroyed. You don't know the size of the enemies. At this point, one of the other commanders comes in. How are they talking to each other? What do we know about the First Legion? Well, we know that they communicate and they all see through the same eyes, but we don't understand the rank structure so well. We have a Flohelgi in here. Do you know any? But you're not of the First Legion, are you?
No, when I was in the military, the First Legion were dwarves.
That doesn't make sense.
Nothing makes sense.
They kind of like look at each other confused for a moment, and then Ace Sith remembers and she's like, "Oh, I'll explain later." Okay. Well, presuming that they're talking to each other somehow, they have to have steady communication, something maybe dedicated solely to that. Look for units that are maybe immobile, units that are well defended. Is there anything there? Look for anything that would resemble a still thing in the image. We see. Make a perception check.
What image are we looking at? The map?
You're looking
basically.
the map, yeah. Look at, so not like there's nothing on it, but I'm just saying like for the sake of role playing, what you would see.
19.
Yeah.
19?
17.
It's hard. All right, with a 19 you'll get it. Looking through, not really sure what you're looking for. You do notice that, like, kind of almost like looking at an anthill that's moving, and then after a minute you look and you see it looks like almost like something that looks like it's being dragged.
Fair.
Oh, I thought they were the siege things. Oh no. Yeah. So you see something, and I don't have a picture that is outdoors or anything, but I feel like this one is more or less what you would be seeing.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Kind of look. Oh yes.
Oh, I love it. I'm so glad there's robots in my D&D game, even if they're trying to kill me.
Yeah, the one looks at it. I've heard of these. That's what they call it, a conduit strider. Went on a sabbatical last year to Flohelg. The factories there, they had something like this. It's formidable. I would not want to attack it, hand to hand, obviously. Well, hand to massive foot. But you could maybe, they are not as mobile as they look. They need to stay put and to be able to transmit a lot of messages. Expect them to be very well defended, though.
I'm sorry. What are you expecting us to do? I thought the Exodus protocol was initiated in 10 minutes.
No, the Exodus protocol is how long it will take to actually move. We need to empty the city into the building.
Empty
for
the
that-
city into the building?
What I mean is all of the people. That is the plan. Well, we should explain.
Quickly,
Commander, why
please.
don't you? The Exodus protocol is a way that the magical properties of the Cathedral of Sand are made into a mundane state. So a lot of the dynamic flows and everything that you see of the constantly shifting building solidifies. The building itself will grow immensely in scale as its potentialities are then realized, become absolute. It will actually, you'll see these towers of brass and the Cathedral of Sand merge in a way. It's hard to explain exactly what will happen as it's never been done before, but if the calculations are correct, which kind of looks nods, well then what you should see is one hell of a sight, if we can manage to pull this off. But first, we need the entire population of Heegarisheil, or at least as many as we can save. We're talking students, we're talking women and children first. We've got a bunch of militia coming up from the Brick Palace. They heard that the city was under attack, they grabbed their hammers and wrenches and started walking to the walls. Hazard be damned. They're not quite so trained as the elites we have at the Iron Vaults, or as the initiates of the Iron Vaults, but they'll do. We're happy for the numbers, and a lot of them just want to see the families protected. Speaking of the families, we've got a great deal of city guards that will be able to keep order within the city during what should be a panic. I'd expect looting. I hate to say it, but no, I would expect it as well. I've done my studies of history and I know what to expect. Hey, Devara kind of like smirks at this. Just seems like amused. Now, is there anything else we know about them? What we can expect? We should expect some kind of attacks on the council or any other high-profile people. We already saw Daresh is grievously injured. Was not able to. Well, we should be careful for that. How are they attacking? Infiltration most likely, but... So...
Who's in charge of the militia?
in charge of it. No one is in charge of the militia. That's another thing. Keep this organized, we need people who can lead them. What I'd like to see is... Well... What I've heard, you are the ones who intervened at the council the other day. And... upstairs. Is this correct?
I...
They could use some leadership out there. Give each one of you a unit. You choose which. You choose where you want to place them.
And out of character, Matt, when you say units, are you talking about the entire list of what you gave here?
Yes.
Yeah,
Pick a unit.
Put a cleric in charge of warfare. That's good.
After what, after the fact that you couldn't go down one part of the building because it was sliced off, they're probably okay with it.
Fine.
Alright. Here's what we have, and they go over, like, cast exposition. Yep, they, so they go over the list of different units that you have there. Each of you, pick one.
These Fergandali knights. They're prepared to fight to the death.
They are.
Do they not have anything to live for?
Their honor, that's it. Once they swear a vow, they uphold it. Actually, we have this, 1 second, as I'm going to find another character.
Brunin. You can't take the Varganelli Knights. They follow darkness. They are evil. Champions of Krushtak. Unless you led them into suicide, in which case, please do, but I would miss you.
They're here to protect the city, are they not?
So they say. I do not trust them.
Would they listen to someone in the right armor, perhaps?
Perhaps. They still follow Krushtak, who is the god we are on a mission to kill, so just keep that in mind. Don't tell them about it.
Well, they don't know exactly who they're following.
At this point, you see a man approach.
I'm still taking this in, Matt. I've never played like this before. This is really cool.
Thank you.
I feel like we've just been tossed into like late stage Civ 5.
Just feel a bit like I know it's a lot. Sorry. Yeah. No, trust me. There's no right choices here.
You're under nuclear attack. Good luck.
All right. As entering into the room, you see a tall, looks to be a bit tall for just a human, but by all stretches looks to be human. It first looks sort of scrawny, but then you realize just kind of like he's actually filling in the armor fairly well, so fairly broad-chested, maybe like almost like built like a swimmer, you know?
Wait, I missed it. I'm sorry, Brunin, did you put the armor on?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Okay. I've got a picture of what you would look like if you wanted to put that on, by the way.
Is it? Okay.
You want? Yeah, actually, I'll send it to you in the private chat, and then you
Okay.
decide if you want to wear it. I would say, yeah. Hold on. I feel like you're gonna definitely be like, oh, fuck yeah, I put that on.
If we're putting on a lot of armor, I also have armor I can put on.
You do. Yes.
Maybe I'm a
So-
Lord Priest now.
Kind of like, yeah. I'll say like,
yeah.
it kind of looks at you and says, well, if you're gonna lead, you better go get dressed. So you guys all, go off to your respective, chambers somewhere on the floor. Find a privy or something, and then go ahead and get changed into your respective things if you choose to. Now, do you guys have any preferences for which units you would like to lead?
I'm still looking it over.
That's fine. That's fine.
Out of
Take your
character.
time while you put your armor on,
Yeah, done.
or whatever. Okay, yeah, there you go.
Out of character, we cannot go into battle right now because we're gonna fucking die.
Fair enough. So we could say, for the sake of it, that this can count as a short rest for sure.
I was interested in either the last remnants of the brass fleet because they're capable of extraction and recon. I know there's not too many of them that could be useful. Or I am a healer. There are the healers of the glass hearth.
Alright,
What's wrong?
Something just happened in D&D Beyond. I tried to reset maximum HP changes, and I went from 19 hit points to 13. That's worse. Oh, I
Weird.
forgot. Zara, you and I have a level of exhaustion, by the way. We're at disadvantage for these skill checks.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that.
What happened during
what
short
is
rest again?
The Songblade armor I'm putting on. What should I put it
Oh,
at?
I believe it
Or
was
just
scale
ish
mail.
for now. It's scale mail? Okay.
I believe so. Yeah, like scale mail for the base stat, but
Okay.
am healing a little bit.
Wait, I thought you said the armor was heavy armor. I thought that's why I couldn't wear
I'm
it.
sorry. Let me see.
You're fine. You
It's
don't-
been. I'm sorry. It's been so damn long.
I never thought I was gonna use it.
Sorry, give me just one moment. Just
Figure
mixing
out
it up.
which units we're gonna command.
Up to 58 hit points, so that's something.
We'll say splint.
Okay.
We can only take one unit.
Yeah, you can only take one unit. And granted, so to kind of like cover how we're gonna do this, you don't have to stay with the same unit every round, because we'll do this in a number. I think it'll be a number of rounds, so almost like a skill challenge. Okay.
Cool.
That there's going to be some factors of your unit size and kind of what their rating is as far as what you're doing, what you're going up against, and that'll determine based on the strategy and tactics you choose, and what you're going after, and luck of the dice. We'll see how it goes as the battle progresses. Consider what your overall strategy is. Consider what you are doing tactically in each encounter.
What was that word, Matt?
What's that?
What was that word?
Strategery?
Encounter.
No,
Strategic.
strategy.
Strategic guy.
Okay.
You're back to being the player. Yeah.
Drink guy. Yeah.
Can Matt play? Can he
Yeah,
be?
do you want to get subbed in?
Can we tag out? Just
Not
kidding.
for this.
Vernon, you're the
no,
MVP.
No,
we
no,
love
I
you.
don't want you guys to be. It'll be fine. So you can, and again, like it doesn't. Not every round you don't have to choose something. Think about your own personal strengths as a leader too. Your charisma will play into it, or other tactics, depending on what you want to do. And think about how you're going to lead for whatever purpose it is. So maybe if it's I don't know. If you want to use help the healers, you can do that. If you wanted to help the the city guard with helping people in need who are scared, you can do that. There's all kinds of different things. You don't have to do any one action round by round. You can. We'll say that by the end of each round, unless something catastrophic happens, you'll be given a chance to switch places to another, kind of like a regroup phase, we'll say. Right?
Brunin walk. No, it's alright. No, my short rest wasn't
short rest.
working. I had to roll I rolled 10 dice myself.
All
My
right.
short rest.
If
wasn't
you
working
guys
for
want,
me.
do me a favor. Let's just keep track of the hit points on a separate piece of paper then, if that helps you. All right. Or whatever.
It's muted. Sorry, I was muted on the stream. No, I mean it's working for me. I'm at a hit dice, but I'm at like 58 hit points. You guys got all healed up. Everybody's got heals but me.
I can give you some more heals.
Can you give me a little more heals, please? I'm also gonna lay on hands. You guys see for the first time. I scratch myself and just start glowing, and then to my surprise, like that wound heals underneath. Like, what the fuck?
As Adraxa and Zara is here healing Adraxa, Brunin walks out from behind like a curtain with his armor Krushtok, wearing the armor Krushtok, all decked out in white.
All right, I'll drop that in the chat as well. So what you
Adraxa
see,
just glares at you fucking furiously.
you see a small halfling man show up looking a bit in style. Helmet similar to what you have for the Helm of the Burning Branch, but
Yeah.
slightly different. In fact,
What does this armor give me? Do you remember the stats for it?
well, you're not attuned to it, for one. So this would be just standard plate.
Standard plate armor. Okay.
Yes,
I-
attuning to the
You look like
Yeah.
a monster.
Right,
I'm sorry, I
just-
can't look at you.
At this though, the Krishtaki Knight that you saw kind of looks down for a second, is surprised, approaches. You wear a very outdated set of armor there.
Get fucked! What do you care what he's wearing? Go back and mind your own business!
Sensing some hostility.
Get fucked!
Good. Save it for the enemy.
Save it for your mom! Stop laughing, Brunin! Fuck! And fuck you too for giving it to him! Fuck off, everybody! I'm almost outrageous. Fuck!
Why is she so upset with the Kristaki? Oh, Frohelgian. Obviously.
Do the math.
Get fucked!
And as I put a hand on your shoulder to, like, not actually calm you down, but just, like, prevent you from aggressing more, I give you 28 points of healing.
Feel better.
Oh, that's nice, actually. Thank you.
He doesn't, he just holds like a steady smirk. Kind of amused.
As Zara touches me, one of my bloodshot eyes goes white again.
You are resilient people. I'll give you that. Look forward to fighting with you. Hey, Sith. Beacon. Where is it you'd like my knights posted? She looks over the map. We expect that they're sending the vanguard. You can see them already crossing over the path with the... I fear the sands are starting to dry out with the morning sun rising. We need people outside the walls immediately. We're going to have Etty. If you can provide support for them from the ramparts. Yes. Alright. And I don't think that we want to play our hand with the ships again. That went disastrously last time. She, like, fires a shot at this other, this other commander, like, person who seems wearing a slightly different uniform, who just has been kind of, like, quiet, and almost you're just noticing him now. He's got his head is in his hands. Just, he nods.
But the ships are capable of extraction, are they not?
The ships are, but right now is not the good time to play them. We lost a great many because those krill bots swamped them. If we can take out the krill queens, maybe, but getting to them. One of the kind of scrappy-looking younger guys from the Tower of Brass looks and says, "Yeah, Beacon, we've got some new prototypes I think we could try out." Says, "What?" "Well, you know the speeders that we use on the ships. We've modded a couple of them for... well, we could carry more than one person at a time. Probably up to 3 each, so we could pretty much triple the capacity of the number of units that we have. We've only got a couple in stock, but... How many?" "I mean, about 50 of them." "Alright. You can use that to move in fast, maybe past the advancing lines, but we need something to hold them so they don't sweep around to cut you off." "Alright. We take out the krill queens, then we can move in on the rest of them. Try to at least cut down on the number of salvage scrap that they're going to make. That's going to dishearten the people and cause more chaos in the city." Alright, is everyone clear?
Aye.
Okay. You three, where are you going? So, to be clarify, need someone supporting for this round. There's going to be a few involved. Armies of Ember, Farragandali Knights, Speeders, City Guard.
I will take the city guard. Try and evacuate civilians.
Okay.
I will take the Farragandali Knights.
You will regret it.
I guess I'll take the. So I'm a little bit confused. So, like, could I help heal like the army of Embers? Like, I know they need to hold the line for as long as they can, right?
Yeah. So okay. So what you can do is you can offer so there's different kind of roles I'd say that would make sense. So if you want to, this is what I mean. So like, yeah, you say I want to help this unit. How? You can be there, you know, providing support, like you're saying. Which I would say what that'll do is effectively halve any damage that they're receiving this round. So it'll help them to maintain their longevity throughout the whole fight. So rather than it won't necessarily mean that they get any bonuses from your participation in dealing damage, but it helps to preserve them.
Okay.
Right. So with something like you're helping with the city guard, depending on what you do, you might be able to keep people safe from attacks. You might be able to intimidate people into, you know, not looting. You might be able to, you know, help people from dangerous situations, or try to like help make it efficient and speed along the evacuation process. And on the front lines, you can try to encourage the fellow Fergandali Knights. You can try to just, you know, join the fray and fight alongside them. Which should be okay.
To me now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bruton, yeah. It depends. It really depends on what you plan on doing there.
And this is the knights are planning to be on the front line.
So yeah, the knights are, you know, pretty much as soon as the order is given of like he kind of left before understanding, you know, before hearing everything out. He heard enough for what his troops need to do. The knight left, and the Krushtaki knights are amassing outside of the city walls. Specifically where, well, we'll decide based on the map. So where do you want to put them?
Map you put in earlier.
But let me do this. I'm going to get some tokens up, and then maybe you can share it on the stream so that you guys can see. All right. Ash, you can still see the map on the thing, right?
I have the image of the map you sent before. I don't have a live updating version.
Shit. Okay, that will make it a little bit trickier, but it's okay. What I will do is try to, bear with me. I'm going to try and put some tokens on here so you can see what I'm getting at. This is going to get a little bit more complex as we go along. Okay. So, so we're going to say we have, how many units for the Armies of Ember? 5.
I wish I knew why we couldn't get the image to load, because I can see the tokens. That sucks.
Where do you see tokens?
In Fantasy Grounds.
I'll put a screenshot.
Thanks.
Thing. Yeah. Okay. So the city guard, we've got 10. Station them, kind of assuming throughout the city.
I'm just kind of really with the brass fleet pretty much gone, and the engineering division more focusing on I'm assuming getting the Exodus in motion. The Armies of Ember are like one of the last seriously ranged units we have. If I'm reading this right.
So the C's are going to be for the city guard. 1 second. The Fergandali Knights. Then you have 1 unit.
Yep.
So they don't really split up, they attack as one. But they are formidable and high defense piece, so.
This is cool, Matt. We've never done something like this before.
Me neither. Alright.
We'll figure it out.
And then the last one we said was, oh yeah, the speeders. So they have 3. You can choose to use all of them. You can choose to, let me actually put them where they would be starting. So right now they are in the brass palace. Or brass tower. Okay, that's what you know so far about the units. 1 second. And I'm going to put just monster things on the map for you guys to see what they look like.
Oh my god, they're monsters.
Actually, I'm going to. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. The V is for the vanguards that you see advancing. Okay. For Crow Queens.
So many tokens.
This is a war. It's not a single fight. This is you're trying to figure out war. So I think, let me see. And we'll do S for the conduit striders that you know the position of so far.
So what's our main objectives, right? We want to hinder the conduit striders so they can't transmit as easy and get rid of as many krill queens as we can so that we have movement, aerial movement. What were you guys thinking?
Sounds like a good strategy. I just want to get I just want to get the people in the tower.
I do tend to think a little conservatively though, so that's not a crazy out there plan that'll save us, it's just...
It's a good plan.
Because if we can do one of those two things, we can either evacuate people a lot faster or have more time and hold their army off longer to get more people in.
So let me do a screenshot so you guys can see the map as is. Okay. I know it's a lot. Round 1. Okay. So, again, F for the Farragondalis, S for the speeders, A is for the armies of Ember, C for the city guard. All right, you guys good on that side?
Yeah.
So good.
I believe so.
Which tower are we trying to evacuate to?
The one in the center that the speeders are next to, the one that looks like the Sultan's Palace in Aladdin, right?
Where's Jateka?
Jateka is the sea directly above it. So there's, kind of like between, you see the tower or the Cathedral of Sand and the brass tower right next to each other.
Okay, so
In the middle.
So Jateka is not far from that.
Not at all, it's just north of where you are.
That's something.
Brunin suddenly notices on the map that the Fergandali Knights of Fergandal are on the front line. He starts to get little beads of sweat running down his temple.
Brunin.
Yeah.
That you guys can't see because he's wearing a helm.
At this, one of the commanders looks at you and says, "Aren't you missing the rest of your brothers?"
I'm on my way.
Brunin, you don't have to do this. You can come with me.
No, Adraxa. I feel like I have to do something important today.
Don't get killed, okay?
No promises.
All right. Actually, I have a track that might be a bit more appropriate for some kind of epic crazy.
Can you give the letters again for
Not
the
creepy,
V,
but like
the V, the S?
Yeah. Give me one sec.
Yeah.
the,
All right. So the V is for the Vanguard. Show you. Yeah, I'll show you when we get to that. V is for the Vanguard units.
Uh-huh.
K for the Krill bots, or Krill queens, right? Those things that are like that launch the swarms.
Mm-hmm.
S is for the Conduit Striders.
Conduit Striders. Okay, so there's 2 groups of S. Okay. Okay. And that's it. All right.
Okay. Again, Adraxa with the City Guard. Almost said Valsina. Oh my god. That's horrible. No. Zera with the Armies of Ember. And Brunin with the Fergandali.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Starting the first round. So,
Wait.
yeah.
Can we take a quick break so I can figure out the music? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
no,
want
that's
to do
fine.
it right. And
That's
I was.
perfect.
I had
No,
like
you're
a
good.
whole
You're
thing.
good. You're good. It'll give me a moment too, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Are you guys okay if we just
Take
go to
5?
the like be right back screen?
That's fine by me. As we get ready to do this.
All right, be right back, friends. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be right back. Promise.
things that need to be explained. Movement on this. Your goal right now, you need to get the city guard as many of those tokens as you can, preferably all of them, and then any other units you can, into the center building there, the brass tower. Okay.
How does movement
Or the
work?
cathedral stand. The city guard can generally move 1 square per turn. You can pick one of them and move it 2. Since you're working with one of them, specifically the one in Jateka you've chosen. That one will say you can move. I mean, it's right next to it, pretty much where it needs to be.
I win.
So
I
I'll
win
allow you to
war.
I would say you can either pick one and move it 4 spaces, or you can move two additional 2 spaces, right?
Cool.
Okay, so each round, if you're not leading the city guard, they can each move 1. Okay.
If I'm not leading them, then they
So
can move one.
let's resolve that first, right?
Okay.
So, Ashley can't. It'd be so much easier. You want to just move each one 1? Can you?
Well, how many squares is it for my Jateka city guard into?
Oh, do you want me to share my screen in the stream? Will that jack
Yeah.
things up? All
Yeah.
right.
No, if you can, that'd be cool. I think
We'll
I
just
can
have
make
to
that work.
reorient a few windows, but
Yeah,
Oh no, wait, no, don't do that. That'll screw up
Don't do
everything.
anything. I won't do it. All right, that's
Uh-uh.
fine. So we'll say, for the sake of it, again, remembering you just tell me which ones you want to move, and I'll just auto move everything towards the
Okay.
gradually towards the thing.
Okay.
All right. So each one can move up to 1 space towards the brass tower.
Brass tower. Got it.
Okay.
And I have 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Pick which one do you want to move for?
All right. Sorry. How many squares is my top one? He's only 1 away. They're only 1 away.
They're 1 away. They are pretty much like clink, done in.
Okay. Then the second one to the south. Can I? Let's do.
You can move that too. Yeah, you can move that too and get both of them in the same round.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is every single one of them can move 1 per round.
Well, I'd rather get the second one in as well.
Okay. So, clink,
I'd rather definitely win
1,
2
2.
battles than maybe win 4.
clink. All right. Anything else you want to move?
So because I gave 2 movement to the 1 city guard, does a different city guard lose a movement?
No, what I'm saying is all of the city guards can move at the same time, right? We're assuming they're all trying to move towards the brass tower.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, each of them can move 1 tile per round.
Mm-hmm.
If you're using your turn, like your leadership role, to help the city guard, you can move them. You can move two of the tiles 2 spaces, or 1 tile, or one of them 4 spaces.
Okay, so
Okay.
they all can move 1 no matter what, and then because I'm leading them, I can pick 2
You give them
to
a
go
bonus to you can give 2 of them a hey, let's move it up, or 1 of them a run.
To. Okay.
Right.
I wish JJ was here. I'm used to like getting these directions from him. You know, he'd be really good at this.
Sorry.
Well, you know, no, you're good at giving directions. I'm just saying, like, he would appreciate
good.
this.
It's good.
You know?
Well, he can watch the stream. There we go.
Yeah. I'll text him.
All right.
yeah, JJ, give us light advice.
Get in the chat and tell
All
me
right.
how to play my turn. Okay, so the first
I'll
one.
move the rest of them.
Okay, so,
for
so
you.
yeah,
Just
the
kind of like
first
auto
one, the
one.
second one south, I'll give him 2. The third one, I'll give him 2, and the southernmost, I'll give the 1.
Okay.
Leadership.
Okay. They all start drifting towards the Tower of Brass. Yeah.
Move it. Take those civilians with you. Go.
All right. Do me a favor and make a charisma roll.
Yeah, here we go. All right. Not an intimidation roll?
Straight charisma.
Intimidation. Intimidation? No? All right. 16.
What no, charisma's fine. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, kind of like you immediately latch into that sense of command. You recall it. You know what it means to give orders to people. You go in and immediately, "You, what are you doing? We're evacuating the city. Come on!" And just start, barking orders. And then the city guard gets, all right. People are, they're setting up posts and guiding people like, "We need to go right now, right now." They're all issuing commands, and you're, seeing where people are not moving along, or people are kind of lollygagging. Like,
No
looking at what's going on.
lollygagging.
Exactly. All right. Up next, Fergandali. Brunin, you kind of run. Make an athletics check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Brunin is wearing the armor currently, so he's at disadvantage for this roll.
Oh shit, mine should have been at disadvantage too, because I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Roll again.
Yeah.
There we go.
Both of you.
6.
Oh. Well, that one's a dirty 20, so I'll keep my 13.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, you're good then. And with a 6, okay, yeah. So it's you're tired by the time, not exhausted, but like you're like, "Oh, God. Hell, this is so stiff." It's just, it doesn't feel like the armor fits quite right yet. It's been a while since you put on armor. But you rush out, kind of looking a bit like Pippin when he puts on the, the big thing.
Oh,
I see a legion of 400 Knights of Krishtok standing in front of me.
You kind of like hustle up and jump into the line and everything. Beside you, you see this big, just bear of a man, almost like to where like you standing on a chair, would not quite be able to make it to his torso, like to the top of his torso anyways.
Yep.
He's huge. And he kind of looks down. "Glad you could make it, sapling." Then just
Brunin like fixes his posture and stands up a little straighter. Chin out.
"Today we meet our death. Let's meet him with a smile, yes?"
For the glory of our god, Krishtok.
Oh, it gives like a chuckle. Not sure I want to meet him. Only sad I don't get to send more on the way to him. These fucking robots. Alright. You see, at this point, there's kind of a bit of sand kicked up with the winds. Through it. You see the first scampering shape. Growl comes first. And then kind of like the morning sun makes it bright, hard to see. But soon
Brunin
enough.
squints, tries to get a better view. Lifts up his visor just a little bit.
Amidst the bits of brush and everything by the well-worn paths leading into the city for the travelers and trade caravans that would normally be coming through, you see instead a solitary figure running headlong. You can see it looks like part of its foot had snapped off, but it's still running ferociously quickly at it, like a kind of hobbling, like sort of strange, awkward sprint, sword in hand. Make a... we'll just say this. Make a ranged attack.
Okay. Before Brunin does that, he yells out, "Knights of Krishtok, let your names burn in the annals of history."
Make a charisma check then. We'll do that instead of a ranged attack.
what's that musical timing?
So good.
Is this a movie now?
Oh wait, that was a saving throw. Hold on, sorry. There we go. Okay, still 12. Great.
That's fine. All right. Kind of like as soon as you yell this, you hear the...
Oh, I want to use my inspiration.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, you do.
All right. 21.
21. Yeah, okay. With that, like, kind of like at first the ones, around you hear this, and the one that called you sapling hears this big voice bellow out from you. and you just hear this in unison, kind of like your heart is pounding as you hear this boom, clang of like spears against shields, swords pulling out of their sheaths and gleaming in the sun. As you see the tall thin one that you'd seen in the you saw him in the war room.
Yep.
He steps, trots up on horseback, pulls out this this massive lance, and just charges forward. He just scoops the thing up, holds it up as a trophy. Yells, and the rest of them raise their weapons triumphantly. First blood drawn.
Or Krustak!
You just hear them clang their armor again, and there's just a fever pitch of excitement between you riling them up and everything. I'll say this: any damage that is dealt this round is doubled.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, looking ahead though, you see that was not the Vanguard. That was a rickety old random feral thing.
Great.
Stepping forward. After he kind of turns around and drops the thing on his lance. We sit here all day in the sun, working on our tans. They'll come to us. The men laugh, and then one of them says, "Sir, look!" He turns, and just kind of you can see some shapes, one line, one little shape peering up over the hill, and another, and before long, it almost looks like a line of. It would look like a tree line in terms of how dense it is, but all the same shape moving back and forth. Such a regular, straight line. It looks like the teeth of a comb walking towards you. As you see. 1 second. The true Vanguard approaching. Each of them tall, carrying some of them massive mauls that look to be just rods of iron. Some of them carrying, spears, slings, other weapons that look curious in design. Some of them have more or less almost like a long glaive-like axe for a forearm. Mm-hmm. They march steady, making no sounds, no war cry. As they charge. Okay, so I need you to first roll an attack, because I'll say that you have initiative for the attack. So we're going to do more or less 3 mini rounds of attacks back and forth.
Okay.
So first up, actually, no, I'm sorry, not an attack. Roll a D100, please.
A D100.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Oh, I never get to do that. I haven't done that since Call of Cthulhu. All right, here we go.
We'll roll as well.
52.
52. Okay. Okay, 13. So that's good. That's very good. So the Knights of Krustak riled up, double your score again. So from 52, it's actually 104 that you roll.
Yep.
Plus for the Knights of Krustak, I'll say based on the bonus. Okay. And a little street math, we'll round it up. Okay.
Street math.
Yeah, you inflict significant damage on the Vanguard unit that approaches. In fact, I'll say that the first one that comes is wiped out. The second one approaches. You take no casualties on the first round. Right? On the so the first token of Vanguard units is destroyed. A second one approaches.
Archers, fire!
Okay, that's a good chance to move on to the armies of Ember,
All right.
you see stepping back a moment, you run and everything, kind of like frantically from the Cathedral of Sand, out along a special kind of like parapet that's used to get to the outer ramparts. From there, you see one of Eativara's counterparts looks at you. Almost looks to be like a man with what would look like his skin is the color of a bonfire that's almost out. And you look and he kind of like smiles at you. Fairly handsome. Admires the. There's a brief moment before the calm before the storm as he's like, it's very, very lovely.
Just got it. Thank you.
Oh, well, it suits you.
Right now I do wish I was one of the ascendants that had wings. Jesus.
Glow nose glow.
He kind of looks at you. Curious. Well, we should probably get ready to go kill a bunch of these things, yes?
Yes.
All right. And he kind of like begins to twist the air about him and everything. Like you see almost like these specks of about 10 different volleys of flame that are just kind of like circling around him, almost like electrons around an atom. And he's just kind of focusing on maintaining them and letting them grow and crackle in the air. Waiting. Okay. You hear down below, and then soon enough you see the scene that was just described unfold. At this point, after the first round of the Vanguard came marching at a steady pace, and the Ferragandali just immediately lash in and, not losing a single one, tear through the metal men. But then with the second one approaching on their right flank.
Uh-oh.
We won. We did
We
it.
won.
Did it!
Good night, everybody. Thanks for
Campaign
watching.
done.
We
One
won.
boy only needed one round
I
to
love
completely
it was
wipe him out.
damn it. I love that it was like right then you hear
We ain't here shit.
so
You guys turn
hear-
your video on that.
Divine intervention.
Oh, yeah,
2,
hold
electric
on.
boogaloo. We've won, guys.
Yeah, we did it. We beat
Nope,
D&D.
not that.
We broke the DM.
Yay.
Hey,
Okay, guys, thank you for that.
Oh wait, now
So-
oh there you go.
it'll
you got
pop
it now.
back when it.
Cool.
All good? All
Yeah.
good? Okay.
All good.
So, at that point, you hear a desperate cry, Archers! No arrows fly, and then he says, you just call us archers. Well, better than not what I've been called. I've been called worse. And he just immediately kind of like, throws his hands out, and you see fireball, just launching from him, along with just a series of them from the others. So they make an attack roll. Again, this will be. Do me a favor, make another D100.
Okay.
No, this will be for Zara.
Are there no
Zara's
archers
turn.
amongst the Knights of Krustak?
All right, I'll roll a D100. Oh,
As like in a brief moment of like on the battlefield, you hear like the bear look at you. Oh, wait.
11. If this was divine intervention, I would have succeeded.
We should have just done that.
11, okay.
And you need me to roll too? Or-
Oh,
Whoa.
10.
Hey.
So,
Okay.
Is that
It's
really
not-
good or really bad?
both are bad. So
Ah,
unfortunately, it's just
But his is more bad.
mine's a little bit worse. So I'll say that it does help, But yeah, they're just not, they're not able to get as much of a clean shot as they'd like. Like kind of like, I'd say they pick off a few, but not nearly enough.
Your units are engaged in a slap fight.
There's
He
like little
throws
bits
like
of
10
bits
fireballs
of fire, and
for
he's
like
trying
one.
to shoot, but it's like, God, they just out of the way.
All that gleaming white armor really makes it hard to
It's
see.
hard to see. Right, with the morning sun, it's very... Yeah, but the bear looks at you, Brood, and is like, you ask for archers. He laughs and says, no! We don't... as he lops off one of their arms.
Yeah.
We don't kill from afar. Gets another one, and he like turns his head, and then immediately, reaches over you, grabs grabs one that you see was about to impale you with a spear, and just reaches up and headbutts it. Looks down at you. We like to get nice and close in person. And swings around to get another one.
Brunin just goes, "I," but his voice squeaks a little when he says it.
All right, next round. What are you doing?
So we're like in melee combat with this Vanguard now, right? All right.
Yes.
Brunin just pulls out his Blissbringer.
Okay, so this will be interesting depending on... Okay, go ahead.
Busts out his Blissbringer. The Vanguard is made up of what?
The Vanguard, they are made
Which
up
picture
of...
is that in there? Did you put a picture?
That is the last one with like the tall-headed
Okay.
thing.
How tall are they? Just give me the image.
I would say height of a normal person,
Okay.
plus about 2 or 3 feet for the weird head thingy that seems to be it.
Yeah, Brunin wants to, the nearest one, he just wants to take a swipe with the Blissbringer at the, like, their knee.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Okay. Sec. Springer. Sorry, 1 second.
And I'll say with advantage, given that you're right there at his knee, and he probably wouldn't even see you, as they're all the focus seems to be on the tall Krushtaki knights.
I'm gonna do it slashing with advantage, you said? All
Yeah.
right. So I'll do 1. 30, 20, and... Yeah, 20. 30.
Yeah, alright, yeah. No, you immediately cut off the thing's knees as it just falls to the ground. From there, one of the other Fagandali knights stomps on its head, cracking it, and like just this sound of metal bending, wires fizzing.
Yes.
Also, for that, remember, now that's your first kill with a Blissbringer. So add it stacks, so add another +1 to your thing. You probably have it fully loaded by the end of this.
So is that Blissbringer? Is it slightly different rules? Is that Blissbringer dead, or the that Vanguard guy dead?
Yeah, the Vanguard. So
Yeah.
a lot of this is going to be kind of like minion combat, if that's okay with you.
Gotcha.
'cause I don't,
So
unless you guys are going up against something formidable.
So Brunin looks to the right and sees another one. He's going to run at it and try to pierce it.
Okay. Now for this one, go ahead.
No advantage this time. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So 15 plus 1 is 16.
Just misses.
Just misses. Okay.
Yep. So want you to now roll a D100. I think what we'll do for the combat, for like the personal, in the fray thing, I'll let you keep rolling attacks and killing things until you miss.
Okay. Yeah. So 70.
To stack your Blissbringer. 70.
Mhm.
Okay. Versus 12. Yeah. Again, the Faragandali Knights still just in the moment of glory, absolutely just carving through these things. All right. And I think that's 3. We'll say that's 3 rounds of combat for you.
I think so.
And I'd say probably for the armies of Ember, you can get another. I'll let you guys have another round because you only kind of got one of Brunin's rounds. So, what else would you like to do?
So I want to get the point across that when the Krill Queens get within range, we need to target them to free up the airspace.
Okay.
But other than that, right now, I guess the only thing we can see really is the Vanguard coming, right?
Yeah, so far just the Vanguard. I'm going to move some of these tokens around so you can see.
Could you send an
Alright,
updated
so I guess-
screenshot?
Not yet. I'm trying to kind of position this where everyone would be going. Okay. And again, a lot of them are slow. The speeders are up, I would say. Let me do that. Let me move them first. So, out of the kind of like just barreling past to the right of the out of the door, the gateway from the right of the Faragandali Knights, and then soon enough, speeding right past you, behind you, you hear the as just a multitude of those land speeders carrying multiple troops in Fergandali garb, or not in Heegarisheil garb, just speed right past, and then swoop back around, cutting now to your, I would say to your, yeah, the left of the flank. So let me send you another updated screenshot.
Thanks.
Okay. I know it's kind of hard to tell with all the.
That's cool.
Wish I could find a better way to do this, like an actual map in person or something. This would have been perfect for it, but
You can't play D&D in person.
no, not yet.
That's not a thing.
How do we remember to add all the modifiers? God.
Right. Now, as you see these speeders running past, there's a bit of the vanguard to the far north. Opens up. You can see like some of their ranks, you know, kind of like hold up their arms, and you see the arms flip so that the bladed edge of the forearms now retracts into the kind of like bicep portion, and instead you see coming out of the elbow this barrel. A series of shots fire out. Some of the members of the armies of Ember potentially take damage. Roll a D100.
Me?
Yep.
93.
Yeah,
Holy
girl.
shit, okay.
Fucking A.
Kind of like expecting expecting this. Yeah, definitely a much. Damn. Well done. All right. So on top of that, with anything that's halved, pretty much there's one guy who is, who maybe like catches a bolt before all the other ones duck down just in time or glide out of the way to a farther back rooftop until they can, glide back to fire another pot shot at some of the ones that fire. So I'll say this, that not only are you able to avoid really any kind of harm in that round, but you also deal significant damage to the, ranged attackers from the Northern Vanguard unit. So they won't be able to do that again.
Nice.
As they fire off shots. And you see that anything that had fired, they immediately kind of spot there. This one! Not anymore!
Guess it helps to have someone that understands fire.
All right.
I know how they work.
All right. So, second round. You guys can either choose to remain with the forces you're with, or try and join a different team, or different unit. So, for example, if you wanted to, Broden, Broden, you or Zara would probably be in a good position to jump in with the speeders, or you can try and fall back to the city guard, seeing that there's a lot of vanguard coming.
Knights of Krustak, stand your ground. Britain's staying right where he is.
All right.
I stay with the city guard.
Okay.
I might hop over to the speeders for a bit. I want to get more intel on the Krill Queen and what's the two-legged guys? The guys in the back.
At.
The Conduit Striders.
Yes. I'm gonna hop on with the speeders for a little bit because I want to get information on those too. So then when they get close to the walls, hopefully I can inform the Army of Embers.
All right. Adraxa, do me a favor, make a perception check.
With disadvantage, I am exhausted.
Let's go.
14.
Not bad.
Okay. With the 14, that's enough. Amidst the crowds of people, and you look and you're tired and everything, but there's an image that's forever burned into your mind. An image of a metal man standing with flames behind him, silhouetting him, holding up a woman, carrying an obsidian dagger. You remember seeing this infiltrator in the south of Flohelg. Looking through the crowd, you see 3 of them walking, wearing hoods. You only recognize them by the metal face that they try to keep shrouded. There's just a moment as one of them looks back and a bit of the sunlight glints off of it. You realize it's not a mask he's wearing. That's him. It's one of them. As you see the crowds walking, the obsidian daggers creep into a side alley. They're heading towards the Tower of Brass. One of them heads towards the Cathedral of Sand.
Jeez.
So up to you. As far as you can try to, you have a choice. You can stay with the city guard, try and help people, ignore what you just saw. You can try and go to help the sand shapers at the Cathedral of Sand. Or you can go to try and help the engineering division at the Tower of Brass.
So there were three? Three of
Three.
these?
Two of them went to the Tower of Brass, one of them went to the Cathedral of Sand. Well, not necessarily to the Tower of Brass, but at least in that direction as well, as you can tell.
Can I send city guard after them?
Yeah, you could try. There should be some city guard already in the tower, but you don't necessarily know how useful they'd be against something like that.
And it's only city guard on the inside of the walls, isn't it?
Yep. So far. Actually,
Fuck.
no, so again, this is also a good point in time to introduce some more of the tokens on both sides.
Oh no.
So, let's do this. A couple things. One,
But I already can't make decisions.
it's just going to get more and more complex as it goes. I hope you guys know this. I'll put in this token. Actually, no, that doesn't help. It's a bad token. There we go. Okay. We have two of the, or well, actually, it should be three of the obsidian daggers. Put it right there. 1 second. We also have down to the south. You can tell that there are troops massing. As the city guard started announcing everything, you have at various points throughout the city. I would say 1 second. 2, 3 units of soldiers from the Iron Vaults at each of those, well, each of the walls. 1 second. These would be the initiates to the Iron Vaults.
Okay, that I can work with.
Now there are more elite units, but they're not out here yet, as they're still trying to kind of amass.
Nah, I need meat shields.
All right. You also see now behind the Vanguard. Well, leading in front of the Krill Queens, as like kind of like I would say this, Zara. You see this as you're looking out, getting a better view than most of the field. You can see over the berm of dunes. There is a line of, it looks like boats on the sand. These massive shapes. Until you realize these are the same things also seen south of Flowhug with the obsidian daggers. Those enormous, those large bronze cuirasses. Kind of, sort of an iron giant looking feel to them.
I want to be on their side.
Nice reference. Love it.
All right.
I always fight on the wrong side.
Ash. They're from Flowhug.
I'm on the wrong side no matter what.
Yep. It's like they are on your side technically, but you chose the other side. So you see these massive things coming forward. All right, let me send you an updated map so you guys can see what is going on. Oh, you thought it was chaos. It's going to be every freaking square on the sheet filled in, guys.
It's gonna be 1,000 tokens just coding the entire map.
We're like, this should be fine. We'll hop between stuff, and then in like 3 rounds, the entire map will be filled, and we will be locked in completely separate locations.
You sunk my battleship.
Okay, so again, there's some new things happening. The O's are for obsidian daggers, right there by the,
Shit.
by the Tower of Brass and the Cathedral of Sand. The eyes are for the initiates to the Iron Vaults. You have 3 units of them. Good in numbers, but not necessarily as disciplined as some of their more experienced trainers and directors of the Iron Vaults. You also have, on the enemy's side, the Vanguard still advancing. You have the Brass Cuirasses approaching now, protecting the Krill Queens. And you have the Striders still remaining put, as best as you can tell. All good?
It's great. It's so great.
Which
Okay.
one of the images is the brass cuirasses again?
The bees in the... Yes, the
Got it.
bees are Brass Cuirasses right in
Oh
front
no,
of
no,
the
no. Which physical photo? Like the
Round 2.
part.
Round 2. See, I put it in the chat.
Round 1, round 2.
Oh no, sorry. I was asking what.
Oh,
they look like.
what do they look like? What do they
art
look like?
Are they?
Yeah,
If you
one
post
second.
one,
The
Oh,
ones
that
with pigtails?
is... Hold on.
The
Yeah.
one's protecting the crow.
Yeah, the
queen.
bronze,
So I
the
can-
bronze cuirasses look
I
like
want to see
this.
if I have an idea. Oh my
Those
god.
Oh
things,
yeah,
but-
those things are fucking dope. Yeah.
Oh,
And
I
wow.
would say
super
that,
tall, right?
yeah, you guys,
Mach 1.
I would say, yeah, a Drax, you probably come up to its knees.
Okay, they're huge. Got it.
Also, don't forget
Right.
they have diamonds in their faces.
Not them, the obsidian daggers do.
Oh yeah.
Too many cool monsters with cool abilities.
All right, so my
Okay.
go.
Yep, so, okay, first off, before we start the round, who's choosing to side with which unit? Brunin staying put with the Ferrigan Valley Knights.
Yep.
Okay. Zara?
Okay, so the S's in front those are the Striders, right? Moving out.
Yes,
And
the Striders
Spears.
are, or yeah, the S is on your side. The three ones you see right there. Shit, I have two groups of S's. The 3 that are grouped together are. I'll change the name to something else.
Okay, yeah,
Or the initial. I'll
those are-
change it to I'll change it to L for land speeders. How's that?
yeah. All right, that sounds good.
All right.
I'm assuming. I actually think I want to hop over to the land speeders for a second if
All
they're
right.
gonna stay relatively local.
You kind of okay. So yeah, they're going after the krill. But yeah, you wouldn't necessarily know that. I mean, you wouldn't kind of get the sense of that from the war room. But yeah, you kind of see this opportunity, and I'd say, let's commit to it. Heat of the moment, you make that decision.
Okay, yeah, why not?
Okay.
It's a bad
You-
choice, but I did it. Let's
Nope.
go.
You kind of like
Made
see
a
them.
choice.
And I
You
hopped
wave.
on.
You wave to one of them. He kind of like sees you. Waves you on. It looks like most of them have like the full 2 loaded on them. You see one of them is like, one seat empty. So you jump down off of the ramparts, and as you're falling, it's a tall drop from the city walls.
Good.
The driver points up, and you immediately start to float down gently as he casts Featherfall on you.
Nice.
You land on the speeder. The man looks at you. Glad you could make it. You recognize one of the other guards from the shuttle that had helped
Oh,
carry Deresh. Let's
let
go.
me know if we're gonna get yet. If you can swing by any troops easily, let me know, and I can just take out a few on the way.
See it. All right. 1 second as I delete this token.
Zara's a fucking tank.
Love it. Just
I'm planning on what my is if
Holding
they
the
can
scimitar
swing me-
out. in Mad
No,
Max.
if they can
I
swing
love
me
it.
within 15 feet of troops, I can just sear a whole line with spirit guardians.
Oh,
Holy
shit, okay.
shit, yeah, you can.
15-foot radius. If you can just swing me even kind of close to some enemies, I can just
Okay.
deal
Okay, we'll see.
3d8 to all of them.
They call
right.
me
10 minutes.
Bulldozer the Ascendant.
All right, so
It's one of my
We'll
favorite
say.
cleric spells, right behind spiritual weapon.
okay. So I'm gonna say the land speeders kind of swing around. You're coming in the path of a bronze cuirass, so it is going to be dangerous in that they'll have an attack of opportunity at first as you
Alright,
go
I'm
past.
I'm gonna
So-
impose disadvantage on that. Blind
Okay.
warding flare.
So do me a favor. All right. So first up, you're running up. You see the first thing, warding flare. As the thing sees these blurs just moving past, all the bright light seems to be suddenly appearing in front of its eyes instead of reflecting off of the soldiers to the south. As you do, you're also casting the spiritual guardians, bringing this rampaging stampede of ferrets, just like, running as fast as they can behind you. These spectral ferrets trying to keep up with these land speeders.
I've got this tiny Akima
I'll
save.
roll. All right, so I'm gonna roll a D100,
All right.
and I'll do it at disadvantage. Oh God.
Yes. It was kind of ass.
All right, I
It
rolled
was a
a
3.
42 and a 5.
Now you get a 3 on a D100?
Why am I getting all the divine intervention
Oh my
rolls right
God.
now?
You can't use them for a week. Stop using them.
Also say a 5 is pretty crappy too. So I'll say this: you do no damage to the to the bronze curious as you fly past it, because the spirit weasels are just trying to catch up, and like
They're
there's
more
like
used to humanoids.
yeah, most of them are like kind of like running at full pace, like really eagerly. But there's like
Do they have attack rolls
one
or
that's
they
like kind
auto
of
hit?
They auto hit, but like for necrotic damage. Radiant damage. I'm assuming it's a
yeah. So I'll say it doesn't do enough damage as it passes.
to seriously hinder anything.
Yeah. However, as you look behind the bronze curious, you now see the speeders in front of you kind of like dart to the side as you see this phalanx of salvage scrap. The undead soldiers just like kind of almost rotting in the desert sun. The smell hits you before the actual sight does. You see them standing in front, just kind of like shambling alongside the Krill Queen.
I've got something for that too. Bring me in.
All right, you fly past, and as soon as you do, the spirit guardians kind of greet this. Like, he kind of looks and says, like, "Are you sure about this?"
Yep.
All right. He's kind of like eased up on the throttle for a moment. The spirit guardians catch up and start to swirl around you, sort of like this, almost like figure 8 sort of motion, and then they just stop their little dancing movement, and then you just here they go, full
Right
throttle.
into the undead.
You almost like feel it pull you back as the speeder gives this high-pitched whine before it barrels forward. The ferrets immediately go and start swirling, all around you in this helix. Make another.
This is
I'll
where
say, yeah. Go
I
ahead.
want to cast Destroy Undead.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
shit.
do.
Okay.
Channel my radiance. Channel my
Okay.
divinity.
Okay.
Fuck yeah, you do.
I think I should be able to kill anything less than, I want to say, a CR2 within a certain amount of feet of me. 30 feet maybe? 30-foot radius? I can double check. It doesn't have like a cute little radius anywhere. 30 feet, I think? Yeah, I want to say 30 feet.
It's fine. And again, like, don't worry. Okay, so for the
Yeah,
sake
yeah,
of this,
okay.
for this
I'm
session,
destroying
don't
it.
even worry too much about radiuses, because it's like that'll give me a sense of like how many of the troops, but
So I'll vaporize
I
any
don't have
rank
I don't have a
troops.
detailed map of nothing. So all right.
I'll vaporize any lackeys and hopefully scare away the
All right.
like the big boys for a minute.
Okay, so the speeder goes, and as he's like pushing full throttle, the other soldier in the other sidecar of the speeder just kind of like, it's like, kind of starts to like scream a little bit as you cast a spell. Your eyes start to glow along with the rest of you for just a moment, and then there's a cloud of black around you, as almost like touching a mushroom or something that explodes on contact. Just this cloud of black smoke billows out around as you just cut a line straight through the ranks.
And it's actually CR3 now that I'll know as well.
The oh god. Okay, so the salvage scrap around the Krill Queen, it's kind of like primary defense, is just eviscerated. What bits don't get destroyed by the radius of the destroy undead, the ferrets immediately go and kind of lash out to.
Yeah.
Almost like the, seeing the army of ghosts in Return of the King, right? Just like charging forward. Just little tiny ferrets.
Okay, I'm glad I came out here now.
Me
Yeah,
too. This
me
is
too.
Fantastic. All right. The
That
as soon
was
as you
totally
do, yeah, you do.
planned
The,
and not
you know,
improv.
the one other guy on the right is screaming bloody murder as you're charging full speed into a fray full of men, and everything. Bits the metal krillbot things that were on them shriek and die. As you're just barreling through, the guard just lets out like that, like Han Solo coming in, just just
I'm gonna
time
turn
of
to the
his
driver
life.
and be like, I can only do that one more time.
All right. As you pull up, the krillbot or the krill queen kind of like rears up on its legs, looking, you can tell, seeming apprehensive. So we'll come back to you in a minute. Now, back to the Fergandali Knights. The vanguard approaches, starting to reach your flank on the right side.
Mhm.
All right. Far off to the north, the vanguard, less, without any archers, starts to march on the walls as well. Vanguards on the southern stretch don't seem to be converging your position. They seem to be moving in towards the walls. So the armies of Ember start to fire shots at them. The good thing is with the layout of the city, the closer they get to the walls, the closer they'll get to having two of the armies of Ember units firing on them from both sides. So they'll get caught in the crossfire and hopefully they can help. But there's a lot of troops to the south that are unopposed. Nonetheless, if they get there, it cuts off a good bit of the city. The city guards, Ash, is it Draxa with the city guards or doing something else?
With frustration, Adrax is gonna abandon the city guards and go pick up those ding-dongs from the iron vaults.
Okay. So, where are you going with the with the soldiers from the iron vaults?
Do they have the same movement rules as the city guard?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll say this: the iron vaults are kind of doing their own thing right now. So the iron vaults are planning on going out to join the fray against the vanguards that are attacking, right?
All right.
Holding the city gates or preparing to pass through to go and fight any that get too close.
All right.
If you want to help against the obsidian dagger kind of things, that's going to be, you pick either the engineering division or the sand shapers to go help.
I'll take the engineering division, I guess. I speak their language. I'm hella smart.
Okay. So you kind of seeing that there are two of them going into the brass tower, you know that that's a more dire threat, right?
That's
All right.
that's my assumption.
All right. So, sorry, I know I said I was going to go to the Fergandali, Mike, but we'll come back to you. It'll be fine. So you go in towards you follow the two, considering that if they send two after, that's probably a higher priority target, whatever they're going after. You kind of leave the guards, like, you got this? Yeah, we're fine. All right, move it along. And they shout as you go and turn and just full speed run up towards the brass tower. Looking, there's faces everywhere. People are kind of still piling in and everything. And amidst the crowds, you should make a perception check.
Oh boy.
And I'll say a straight roll because you've already spotted them. You know what they look like. So
Okay.
just a straight roll, not disadvantage.
Thank you. Great. Then 21.
Okay, cool. You spot them. They're far up ahead. You can tell by the cloaks and that they seem a bit taller than others in the crowd. You recognize the green cloaks that they were wearing just outside. Well, in fact, they're some of the only people with cloaks on inside. So you immediately spot them, but it's too far up ahead. The crowd is all packing into the brass tower, so you're gonna have to find a way to push through. Make a strength check.
Oh, okay. I would like to rage,
Okay.
which is now a straight roll because I'm exhausted, so 21.
Yeah, okay. Kind of like seeing the crowd like, excuse me.
Move!
You just shout, move, and then the people part, they're the Red Sea, just getting the hell out of the way of the crazy orc lady.
Intimidating
All right.
presence.
There's an old lady who kind of looks like, oh, how rude. As you just push past everyone in customs, you know. You immediately kind of run up, make a stealth check. Disadvantage.
Disadvantage? No problem.
Yeah. Not double disadvantage, but you know what I mean. Yeah, like you absolutely disadvantage for this.
Triple secret disadvantage. It's 5.
Okay, yeah. As you start barking at people, you know, they kind of you just see them turn. There's a moment as you just see the, you know, kind of the side of the face peek out from the cloak. They start just sprinting up the stairs. Okay, make a dexterity check to see if you can get, you know, chase after them.
Oh, baby. 10.
They run up the stairs. You don't get them in time to cut them off. They split. One left, one right. Which one do you go after?
Left.
Okay. You run after it. Oh, damn it. Okay. This one is just hustling up the stairs. You have a chance to try and make one more athletics check to see if you can. I'll say with advantage because you're raging, even though I know that's whatever. But I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
So, let's try and run up the stairs faster than this machine.
27.
Yeah, John Henry. All right, you run up the stairs, see it, and I'll say, not even making you roll the attack. You just immediately take your axe and swing at the legs, tripping it. All right. Before it doesn't even, it moves in a weird, unnatural sort of pattern. Rather than kind of getting up like a person would to try and, you know, scramble up to its feet to fight you. It falls on its belly and immediately does this strange kind of swinging kick to hit you. Then bends its back, you know, like a contortionist, to try and grab at your throat. Suspended upside down, curled like letter C on the ground. Make a strength check. Still raging.
Alright, so, yeah, alright, 11.
Okay. It's got you by the throat. Actually, wait, no, that's not fair. It's trying to get you by the throat, but I need to roll 2. So, that's gonna be a 4. As it tries and grabs you, and you immediately smack its hands away and everything. Still standing, you ready your axe. Make an attack.
Oh yeah, this is what I do.
Reckless. 14.
Okay, that hits. Actually, yeah. Pretty sure. Yeah, because it would be prone too, so yeah. Make it with a... Yeah, you already had advantage
I
on
called
that, right?
reckless, yeah.
Yes, okay. That hits, go ahead.
+9, +1, 3, 12 points of slashing.
Okay. Yeah, it's looking hurt. So you just immediately, you know, carve into the chest of this thing. It cuts the cloak, and as it rises up, you see it, the familiar, stretched out horror steel. The obsidian dagger, you know, jet black, kind of like its neck cracks a bit, looming over you, probably about a good, you know, 1.5 feet over. And it goes to move. Oh man, that's nothing. 12?
Is that an attack?
Oh
on me?
wait, yeah.
Yeah, with
Advantage.
advantage. With advantage.
It rolled a 12 again, so yeah.
Okay.
Or actually 14, sorry.
Doesn't hit.
As it tries to, it just quickly goes with the dagger. You immediately duck out of the side with your shoulder. Go ahead. Go ahead and attack.
Sweet. Reckless.
All right.
14 again.
Yeah, hits.
All right. Oh, sweet. Okay. 20 points of slashing damage.
How do you want to do this?
I want to... Does it have eyes or something that I can tell is
Yeah.
looking at me?
Yes, it does. Is it good?
As I cleave into whatever that is, I just growl at it.
I told you. Heegarisheil is under the protection of the Mates of Fate.
I take its head off.
you cut off the head at the neck, and it has a long neck, almost like you would see like a turkey or a chicken or something, and it just falls to the ground. The obsidian dagger wobbles and then stumbles a bit, falls off, clatters to the ground.
I go sprinting off after the second one.
As you hear a scream coming from up the stairs, we're going to come to Brunin. The Fergandali Knights are nearly surrounded now, holding well. Not one of them dead, one of them scratched maybe, but you holding the armor feel safe. And if any one of your friends could see you right now, they'd be kind of amused and terrified at this screaming, blood raging halfling, just carving through, soldier after soldier. Okay.
So Brunin perceives that to the south there's a number of vanguard advancing on the city that are rather unobstructed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Brunin wants to try to... Is the guy on the horse still right by me?
Yeah, the commander.
Yeah. Brunin wants to try to swing up on that horse with him.
Okay. Bearing in mind that the Fergandali move is 1 unit, and you're currently surrounded, so you'll not be able to really move.
What's that? Say it again.
You are holding your ground because the Fergandali can't really move away from to get to them at this point.
Because they're surrounded.
Yeah. I'll say, yeah.
Good.
I'll say this, you can try and go off on your own to maybe rejoin the...
Oh, I wasn't trying to go off on my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Brunin just wants to swing up on the horse, and he wants to try to make an announcement to most of the Fergandali. Do I need to do anything to try to get up on the horse?
No. I'll say in the heat of the battle and everything, you see one of the other Fergandali kind of like gets knocked down for a second. You jump up on his back and hop onto the horse, grab onto the the guy's collar, and start yelling out to the rest of them.
To the south! To the south! They're advancing to the south! Units have to move to the south!
Get off of me! What do you do?
Oh, shut up! And I pushed the guy off the horse.
Oh my god. Make a strength check.
Okay.
It's going to be contested.
And I am at disadvantage on this.
11.
12.
Nice.
Okay, it's just enough as he's like fighting you. What are you doing? Just something about like the weight and everything, and you caught him at an awkward angle where he wasn't expecting one of his own men to pop him off. You toss the commander off of the horse in the middle of the battle. So with that, I will say that the unit starts to become reckless. So I would say that for your D100 roll, you're at disadvantage.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So let's roll.
All right. Disadvantage.
Yep.
28.
28. 64.
Oh, damn.
All right. So something about this, the tides seem to start to turn. There's the first scream from a Fergandali soldier pierced through the throat. Another one you hear crushed to death. The sickening sound of the white gleaming armor. Cracked. A spray of red coming up as one of the iron men crashed its massive foot down with a hydraulic piston. Comes back up. And then side kicks another soldier who falls back, knocking over some of the other Fergandali knights. Come on! The bear yells, picks up the other soldiers, pulls them off of him, and grabs his maul. Runs, tries to take the soldier out. The soldier reaches up, grabs the maul. There's just a moment of contested strength. Make another D100 check.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to do on the horse?
Brunin sees this on the horse and wants to take the horse and charge at the guy holding up the bear by the neck.
Okay.
Try to knock him over.
He's not holding him. It's like kind of a contested thing where they're both holding the sledgehammer that the bear is.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, so I still want to run up and try to knock him over with the horse.
Okay.
But I rolled a 60 on that D100. FYI. Oh, disadvantage. Hold up.
Yep.
Is it consistently a disadvantage?
They are without. Well, for the first one, I think, because that was a question of leadership in the general thing. I'll say a 60. However, I rolled a 77. So unfortunately, you go to as you go to slash him, the creature or the robot, the more substantial threat this Vanguard unit seems to just grab disarm the bear and tosses the sledgehammer aside, almost knocking the horse's legs out from under you. I need you to make a dex save.
Oh god, and I'm wearing this armor too. All right. $11.
Okay. Unfortunately, you fall over off of the horse. Not so badly that the horse lands on top of you, fortunately, but the horse, as strong as the bear is, this machine fighting him rips the maul from his hands, and then with his free hand fires off like a series of rapid punches that knock the bear back. He throws the sledgehammer, knocking out the legs of your horse, that immediately topples frontwards, cracking its ribs into the sand, launching you just clear over its head, where you fall into the sand yourself. You're gonna take 1 second.
I'm gonna take whatever.
So this is the first bit of damage, yeah. So you can take. That's lucky.
Had to look for dice. Not
Oh,
good.
lucky. 2d6, but you take 2 points of damage.
Really? Wow. All right.
Yeah, 2 1s I rolled. So
All right.
damn. All right, the gods are favoring you.
Yeah.
You kind of like rise up, for a moment. Kind of have your bell rung from that falling. The horse whinnying. Kind of
Ears are ringing a little bit. Yeah.
kind of thing. It whines, and you look in terror, kind of like this moment of seeing this, horse that's going to die now. The field of battle. There's a moment. Make a wisdom save.
Goodbye, little Sebastian.
14.
Like 10,000 candles in the wind.
You just have this moment of sorrow as you see this animal and everything, and it reminds you of kind of all your own pains. But then you remember the Blissbringer in hand, that you fight to end all this kind of suffering. You stand up, you slowly stride towards the machine that had just knocked the bear down to his feet. And there's a moment as there's a bit of clearing in the sand between you and this one thing. The rest of the fighting is there. There's this halfling wielding the Blissbringer, raises it up. The the Vanguard machine turns to you, squares up, holds up his arm, starts to charge at you. Okay. Need you to make another D100.
Another one.
This one, straight roll.
Straight roll. You
6.
first.
6.
What'd you say? 6. Okay, I rolled a 58.
All right, so yeah, you immediately. How do you want to do this?
So as Brunin walks over to this Vanguard, first he passes the horse, and because he wants to put the horse out of his misery, drives the Blissbringer into the horse's neck to put him out of his misery, pulls out the Blissbringer. As he approaches the Vanguard, swings it, chops off the arm of the Vanguard through his torso.
Nice. All right. Yeah. So
Of
you
course,
just.
give him a +1.
Yeah, it does. So at the
Yeah.
moment that you kill the horse, there's something about the moment you put the horse out of the misery, bringing bliss to it. Sweet release. There's a moment as you feel your arm tighten with this incredible fervor for blood, for death, for bringing an end to this soul in front of you. You leap up, and then just kind of like the thing was aiming low, charging at you, expecting that you, little man, wouldn't be able to do what you just did. Leaping up, at an unusual height, and then just cutting straight through it, kicking the front half, the top half of it as you fall. You see the thing behind you crumbles down to the ground. All right.
Again.
Another scream from the obsidian dagger in the halls above. Oh, shit. This damn college is... Why did it have to have symmetrical staircases? It's so fancy.
So many steps.
Fire code.
Tactical errors. Okay. You need to find out where it's coming from. Make an investigation check.
A survival check?
Investigation, because you're trying to find your way around this building still, which you didn't really have access to in the first place.
Disadvantage,
well.
this should go fine.
Yeah.
Does a 4 hit?
You scramble around. You have trouble finding your way around the building, trying to figure out how did I get back to the place that they were in the war room? Is that where they were? Is that where it went after?
I'm like dizzy from doing the stairs. Like, ugh.
Now make a perception check.
Rolled at advantage and I didn't mean to. Disadvantage would have been a 6.
You still hear the screams, and it's infuriating to you that you can't find this fucking thing. What do you do?
I can't tell where it's coming from.
It's just that it's an elaborate building, and it's hard to tell. You hear the shouts and screams, and soon enough you see a young dwarven woman, pretty, petite for a dwarf, but she's running past, scared.
All right, I run in the direction that she came from.
Okay. Soon enough, you see another man running. He's got blood on his shoulder, carved straight down to his side, and he's holding it in pain.
Perfect. I completely ignore him, and I just keep charging in the direction that they're running away from.
Okay. You come not to the war room, but you come to a room with a series of engineers, and they are meticulously crafted instruments and gears and things. You have no idea what the hell these machines are.
They look important.
And there you see a thin elf, an older elf, long gray straight hair swept back into just like kind of like almost like shoulder length, kind of crop. He's just being held up by the obsidian dagger. Please, let me go. You hear a crunch, and the old man goes limp.
Did I fucking stutter?
Falls.
This city is under our protection. Drop it.
The obsidian dagger turns around. Shh. There's a moment.
Intimidating presence.
Okay. Make an intimidation check.
For intimidating presence, that's a wisdom saving throw for him.
Or wasn't it? Oh, okay, that's
How's
good.
his wisdom?
All right.
Probably not good.
Oh, it's cocked. Hold on. What's that? Hold on. 12 plus. What's that?
Please be bad. Please be bad. I'm not that scary.
11.
Oh! He's frightened of me.
Okay, so the obsidian dagger kind of looks at you, and sharing the same ability to see what any of the First Legion sees, takes a step back cautiously. Shh. There's a moment you hear a voice. Flo Helgian, you think that we can be frightened of you. Shh. This unit is cautious, yes, shh, as it should be, as you jeopardize its objective. Understand this, Flohelgian. There are things that are not under your protection. It steps forward. Kind of like, it seems almost like a strange thing to see as it steps forward. Well, make an insight check.
2.
What was it?
2.
Okay. Just something awkward about the way it moves. All right.
Alright, as I draw my axe, I say,
Understand this. I'm not Flohelgian anymore.
and I take a swing at it.
Okay.
Reckless attack.
Go ahead.
Alright, 19.
Yeah, that hits.
Fucking A. Fuck you, it does. 17 points of slashing damage.
Okay, yeah, you bear your axe into its chest. Hard enough that that step it took forward is undone as it clatters back a bit to where it was. Kind of like tears off its arm, throws it aside. Then, drawing a dagger, this one-armed, assassin bot steps forward. Okay, it's going to attack. And was that reckless or?
Oh, that was reckless. Go for it.
Oh, thank God, because that was a 3.
Oh, thank God.
that was a 1. So, damn it. So,
Lucky
oh, wait, hold
Adraxa.
on. Just got this. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
I can hear you too.
Alright, cool.
3
Does not hit.
as it tries to, but then just like off balance with its arm torn off and spurting out bits of oil and just this strange, like very bright green fluid that just comes out.
You're gross.
All right, go ahead, make another attack,
Reckless attack.
or you can disengage and run if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Ah,
I'll,
yeah, that's
I'll
totally
bonus
what
action
Adraxa would do.
disengage.
Takes a level in rogue just cause.
14 to hit.
Just hits.
13 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Again, how do you want to do this? Oh wait. Go ahead.
Say,
The champion of Flohelg no more.
and I take its head off.
Okay. And yeah, another obsidian dagger head there in the brass or tower of brass.
I pick up one of its daggers and I stash it.
Okay. All right. There's a satisfying sound as the thing dies and falls to the ground. The dagger itself, fine trophy. We'll get to that later. All right. The Krill Queen, rearing up, kind of takes this aggressive defensive stance, kind of like you would expect to see with a almost like a bull or something, where it pops its legs out to the side, gets a wider low stance, as though like raising horns, scutters about somewhat fast. You get a feel as each of these legs hits into the sand. There's a bit of it that gets kicked up. The speeder has to veer out of the way for just a
Gonna wreck
moment.
My whole day.
The Crow Queen, make an insight check.
Okay. Insight at disadvantage. Let's go. Okay, the first one's a natural 20 for 28, and the second one is. Okay, 21! We're crushing
Hey!
it. Let's
Okay,
go,
okay.
let's go!
What you can surmise looking at this thing, it's adopting a defensive stance because it's scared. As it kind of holds back and everything, it doesn't have its salvage scrap, meat shields to protect it right now, as that's been completely negated.
Alright.
And it's definitely a threat with these tree trunk-like impacts that are coming to the ground. So as long as you keep clear, you get a feeling that you can take this thing down from a moderate distance, just not to get too close to those elephant legs that the thing has.
Great.
But
So what I'm getting from this
Yeah.
is we could probably. I don't think it's best for us speeders to engage with this. Maybe we should leave this to ranged people. I would like to try to take out another group of undead around another krill.
okay,
Because if we can do that, that's like 2 out of 3, which is pretty good odds.
okay, so yeah, you can do that. So instead, you will fly down on the speeders. And I'll say this: you have 3 speeder groups, so you could have 2 of the speeders trying to take out one of the Krill Queen, while the one that you're on is focused on just cutting a line.
That sounds good. If we have enough communication, that sounds like a great plan.
All right, you shout this. Also, you shout as much to the driver, who then,
Okay.
you can see his. He says this. The other one points back towards one of the other series of speeder bikes. They, you see one of them, put his hand to his ear and everything, kind of listening. You get a signal of a fist raised up, and then one of the groups of speeders breaks off to try and harass this Krill Queen, while the other one goes to provide more support to you. As you pass by the Krill Queen, you get clear of it,
Okay.
and you're starting to head towards the next round of salvage scrap, the next army of them. You see, though, you hear this kind of piffing noise behind you. You look and you see, as released from the Krill Queen, this swarm, this black locust cloud of bots fluttering up and starting to kind of like swarm around into a massive cloud. Some of them give pursuit to you.
All right. I'm gonna yell out.
You can first thing we'll do is we're gonna resolve the attack against the. So you still have the other two things live, right? Like the destroy undead and the.
The destroy undead's done now. If I want
Okay.
to do it again, I have to reactivate it. The Spirit Guardians is still live. It's live for 10 minutes.
Okay. So you charge towards the next round of salvage scrap. These the soldiers kind of like turn, and you see it no longer standing so passively. They take on an aggressive defensive stance, like holding out swords, pikes, seemingly like clubs, whatever. Some of them just like kind of like holding their arms ready to go. Really, just whatever they had on them at the time they died. A few random arrows pop off in your direction. You make a dexterity check to see if you can evade.
Check or save?
Or I'm sorry, save. Yes, thank you.
Save. Okay. I'm like, because if it's a check, I'm at disadvantage.
Yes, no, dexterity save.
Okay. 17.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're fine. So, yeah, if it was a entire volley, you'd be at more risk of being shot.
Hit me.
But
Good thing they have bad
the pilot,
reflexes.
between the pilot and you, kind of like pointing, like, watch out for that one. You kind of like pull him to the side, and the guard guides you away, so you're able to dodge most of the random arrows. The Spirit Guardians go and try and give chase. Now, behind you, kind of like in front of you and behind you now, you feel this intense pressure as the Krillbots are starting to come close to, like, kind of like behind you and everything. And in front of you is this line of, zombified troops, pale skin and everything, just horrifying. Okay, roll a d100.
Come on. 36.
13. So you're
Nice.
good. Yeah, I've been rolling like shit. It's in your advantage so far. Okay, you're able to take out a good number of the undead as you swarm past.
So I guess with this, I'll pop my second and last use of Channel Divinity to destroy the undead. To do as much damage as I can here.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, do you have to roll for it?
No, it just happens.
Okay. You channel divinity, and there's a moment as like kind of.
If they're higher than a CR3, they can make a Wisdom save for it. But if not, they're just vaporized.
So, as you grab onto your holy symbol and everything, just like thinking gratefully towards Glaceo's helped you so much. There's a
I feel
moment.
like coming clutch in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, she's my new
There's
god.
There's a moment as you kind of like hold on to it, and then you kind of like open your eyes up, and it's a strange feeling hearing her voice speak through you. And you just hear, "You're doing well, child." As you say the words in her voice,
Oh.
The voice itself carries out, doing well. Starts to actually, a shockwave goes out across the sand, and you see the undead. Just like all of them, just a massive wave projecting from you. Dead, just all of them. Some of them, the closest ones to you disintegrated outright, similar to what you did with the other thing, but whereas that was more of a specialized undead-y type spell, this one you just see bits of red and bone fly up in front of you. The krillbots themselves that were attached to them, broken, shattered, thrown back by the shockwave of Lysaea's voice. You're doing well. Whoa. Echoes across. And there's a moment as this happens that the krillbots behind you, the swarm backs up as well as the partly because the shockwave kind of like pushes them back, but then also the swarm seems to take a cautious stance, backing away from the speeder. Beside you, to your left, you look and you see one of the conduit striders, kind of like turning. It's got like this sort of like radar-like head that just is spinning constantly. Those two large, like barrel-sized metal boxes that are just kind of constantly spinning. And there's a moment as you see it as exposed. There's a Crow Queen to your right, and there's the Strider to your left.
Here, I gotta switch back to. I don't have enough screens on a laptop. Let me look back. So we are. I'm in between.
Oh yeah, here. Let me. I'll send
okay.
you. Let me send you a fresh one.
Because I'm torn between. There's not that many. There's what, 4 Striders?
There are 10 total.
JK.
Hold on. Let me clear out some of these tokens, starting by deleting the obsidian daggers.
All the people I disintegrated real quick.
Yeah, no, there's so many. I don't want to. I want to try to avoid all the craziness of the tokens, so I'm going to not put in the salvage scrap, but I'll let you know as you come across them because there's a lot of them.
Okay.
All right.
Because what I'm thinking right now, unless there's an amazing opportunity in front of me, I want to try to get drop back off at whatever part of the Army of Embers is closest to me. I feel like
you'd have to find a way to dive back to the. I'll say this: you'd have to find a way to dive back to the, or to head back to the walls.
Yeah.
So it's a long stretch. That, or we'll get to that. We'll get to it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. Okay.
Okay. Zoom and enhance. Okay. So I'm at the second krill bot, right? The second K down?
Yeah, you're the. Yeah, but you see the. Yeah, there's the 2 L's, one stacked on top of the other. You're the front. The L that's moving south. You're the first one.
Got it.
So immediately to your left is one of the conduit striders, and then to the right in front of you is Krillbot. That you just killed all the other ones around.
Right. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna leave the Krillbot alone. I feel like that's more suited for like Vanguard or the Helligans or some ground troop. But the Strider, I feel like they kind of look wobbly, right? And is this one moving still, or is it trying to stop and send a message?
It is standing still.
All right, let's see if I have anything to interrupt that. Unless you want to move on to the next person, and I can think about it more.
Well, that's fine. We can do that. So
yeah, maybe just so you don't have to watch me go.
As you're in the midst of this happening, the bronze cuirasses that were trying to protect the Krill Queens has abandoned them as the. Seeing it as more, there seems to be this tactical decision that's made, and then where these massive, giant statue-like colossuses were standing still, they take a step forward and another, and immediately start, striding towards you, towards the Fergandali Knights, on both sides. The ones to the north reach you first. Then you see to the south, one of them just walks through the fray of vanguards, actually stepping on a few of them on the way towards you. Just crunch.
Does Brunin know these creatures to be undead? Are they undead?
Make an Arcana check.
$11.
Okay. Not sure that it seems like maybe artificial, but you're not sure that these things are necessarily just constructs, right?
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be an intelligence about these things, and it's hard to understand what the hell is going on.
So Brunin's mostly a one-trick pony, but at least he's got a new trick. Brunin's gonna cast command
Okay.
on these. How many are there? That just
There's one to the north, one to the south of you. Two.
how far apart are they from each other?
Probably a good over 100 feet.
Okay. The one to let me look at the map real quick.
So there's one that's stepping over some of the vanguard units.
Mm-hmm.
There's one to the north that's unimpeded.
Yeah. So the one to the north, I'm gonna cast command on him
Okay.
or on it. So it has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I'm doing it at level 2. Oh no, I'm doing it at level 1, sorry.
8.
8 fails.
Okay. Yep.
Betray.
There's a moment as you issue this command. The fighting stops. At least on the vanguard side. And the bronze curious that was walking towards you. There's a moment of confusion among the Fergadali as one of them not like carves into one of them, and it doesn't respond, attacking him. There's a sort of momentary pause. And then they all turn their backs to Heegarisheil. The vanguards and the bronze curious suddenly charge towards the other one.
Yes.
The vanguards leap up, striking at its legs. The bronze curious goes and takes its last step forward instead, and instead of charging at the its sweeping attack at the Vanguardali line, holding up its arm, turns first, and then goes to. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
It goes and like a contested strike as the other bronze curious looks at it in confusion. It meets sword to sword. There's a moment as these giant metal men kind of like pushing against each other, this contested strength back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
The vanguards chipping away at the other one. The Fergadali see this is a strange chance. Some of them go and try and strike the team up with the Flohelgian First Legion and strike the same bronze colossus that's attacking them.
Yep.
So, make another D100 check with advantage.
Rolling mediocre tonight. 53.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Good, yeah.
99.
Oh,
Jesus.
that's much better.
Okay, wait a
Yeah.
minute.
So, unfortunately, despite all this, maybe it's just something aggressive about the one. Maybe the other one, its programming is trying to resist or something. But the one that you commanded, you hear this sickening sound of metal grinding, and then you actually see it start to glow orange at the edge of it as the sparks fly over. The bronze curious that wasn't commanded lifts its sword and jams it into the one that you did command, wrenching it upwards, tearing the sound like a storm tearing sheet metal. The sound is sickening. The one that you commanded tries to grab the sword to stop it from pulling upwards. It's not enough. It rips up. There's just a moment as the one bronze curious, the northern one, is sundered in half from the belly upwards. It rips out from just outside the neck, falls to the ground. The vanguard knights that were attacking the vicious bronze Heegarisheil from the south suddenly waken, turn back, and immediately start fighting the Fergandali again.
Awkward.
Now, need you to make another D100 check.
Okay. 37.
71. Okay. It's something about this immediate betrayal that they sensed, that they were caught off guard. Was this some kind of ploy? This master stroke by the Flohelgians? Why would they turn on themselves? It confused them. And with their lack of leadership, that one commander thrown off his horse, they're not able to... You can feel the sense of the cohesion is starting to collapse. The unit is no longer really holding as much. So, because of this, as you're starting to take losses and you're losing command over the Fergandali, from now on, any D100s, you take a minus 20 penalty.
Nope.
Now,
Nope.
Can't he just roll a D80?
Yeah.
pretty much. Okay. I think after the second round, yeah, that's happened. So,
Yeah, wait, rolling? Never mind.
round 3.
Oh my god.
Now, a couple things.
It's
Let
been
me move
18
first.
seconds.
Math.
Technically, command does last one round. So I'm just saying, but it's fine. I'm just.
But if, in this case, the thing that you commanded was killed, one-shotted
yeah.
by the thing, along with all the other ones.
Yeah.
Good thing is, one of the city guards made it through, and another one is... Actually, I'll say two more of the city guards made it to the Tower of Brass. But there's some stragglers down to the south. Round 3, 1 second. So a couple things. You hear, as the land speeders are kind of there, you see there's a conduct strider and everything. You also see, passing over the walls, 3 ships of the Brass Fleet sailing over, trying to... 2 of them making an upward arc, one of them kind of cutting as low as it can to the terrain. Not so much, like the 2 of them were more or less like these massive whale-like things, beautiful ships. Almost get a feeling that these were private vessels, you know, commandeered at the last minute for military uses. But there's one that looks sleeker, a bit more like a, well, hard to say. So the 2 that are rising up are more like the Condor X-12 that you saw. This other one looks sleek, it looks fast, and it's passing straight over, kind of like between the Vanguard and Fergandali scuffle that's going on, and heading over towards the Crow Queens. Now,
Like a sport boat or sleek like a yacht?
like a yacht. Like this thing is... She's sexy.
Damn, she rich,
yeah.
rich. Okay.
Yeah, man. Alright, so let me put some more tokens on the map, because why the hell not? Alright.
Scatter some more.
I'm gonna put X for sexy.
He's
I
perfect.
think that was my token.
1 second.
No, mine's A for asexual.
You know, since you guys never got to get that cool airship last time, and maybe you're due for a cool airship this time.
You know, I've had the key to an airship for about 2 years now.
Well,
That's what I'm saying. Just start clicking it.
so actually, Adraxa. Yeah, you wouldn't. No, you haven't seen this. Oh, that's a shame.
Is it?
Yeah, we'll say this, Bruin, and make a history check
Okay.
I swear to God, if my joke becomes real.
with advantage.
Here. With advantage.
If my joke
Yeah.
becomes real.
2. Alright, so 17.
Okay, yeah. What you recognize is a much more polished, almost pearlescent looking version of the ship that you saw Ugio Toroso flying in when he first landed in Kanyar. Almost a year back, it feels like now.
The key works!
As the scarab flies over the ramparts of the city, sleep kind of like cutting past some of the fire bolts and everything below that the army of embers is throwing down, trying to hit the bronze cuirass that is just massive and taking it like just sparks on a welding mask.
We need to protect that ship. It's my retirement plan.
All right.
Can't believe
Give me a second as I have some more things to throw at you guys, because of course I do.
For all things.
Now-
Round 3.
There's a problem. As
Just
you
one?
look at, there's a new problem, I would say.
Okay.
As the ships are coming out, you see the Krillbots. Actually, you see. No, I shouldn't say Krillbots. Sorry, I'm gonna add another token here.
Pearlbot singular. I killed all
Behind
the
behind the where the hell is the token thing? There you go. So behind the okay. Behind the conduit strider, you see there are these other massive catapult-like things, for lack of a better word. Two of them that you can see. It almost looks like a long chain of these strange brass-looking spheres behind them. And you can see there are these bizarre-looking, like kind of like tiny. I'll say you see this there, like there are these tiny little Wall-E-looking robot-like things with like track wheels on it that are like almost like treads that are just kind of like rolling, like pushing these things up into these enormous mechanisms. Let me get you guys a picture so you can see kind of what's going on here. All right. Where the hell is it? Sorry. Well, for lack of a better picture, I think this is the closest. Okay, there you go. So you see something that looks reminiscent of that as far as the actual siege walker, this four-legged, massive thing. As the platform that it's on kind of like holds itself and then lowers back, you see is the big ringed brass structure that it's holding
Oh lord, he's coming.
is launched up as these gyroscopes, similar to the rings, kind of like spin around rapidly and then lock in place. And this resulting shockwave catapults up into the sky these spheres that then go into the city, releasing. What you recognize these as the same kind of hellhound spheres that were launched at the council chambers before.
Shit.
So something that might impede the city guard on their way back.
And how similar do these like hellhound spheres look to the Tower of Brass?
What's that?
Like how similar do they look to the Tower of Brass? Like just visually similar, or do I think perhaps they might operate on a similar?
It's just kind of like that, like nothing. So this is all a completely new, bold world for you, Zara.
Okay.
So it looks maybe like it's a similar thing, but it could be just a mechanical mechanism that you don't know about.
It could just be that's how mechanics work, and it has nothing to do with magic.
It's hard to say. Could be magical. Could be
Bro, calculus
something.
wasn't invented when I came to the future. Like I don't know what's going on.
Dwarves made some kind of a curious mechanism here. That's all you know. Now, the map. Let me show you that because it's gotten pretty crazy. All right.
But it was already crazy.
Oh. Yeah, it's, well, here we are. So. A couple things. The W's are for siege walkers. The X's are for the ships.
My god.
The H's that are inside the city limits now are two of the catapulted hellhounds. Those brass hounds that dropped off in a series of 4, each, that are now prowling the city streets. Okay. There's still an obsidian dagger in the Cathedral of Sand.
Neat.
The soldiers of the Iron Vaults are now regrouped with, and I should actually say this, the Iron Vaults now, at this point they've joined up with the Adepts. Some of the teachers and everything, and higher ranking members of the school have joined them. And I would say they've they're prepared for moderate level of battle. You'd probably have to wait another turn or so before the, senior leaders join them, but it's up to you. Now, are there any other questions about the map as of now?
What does the X stand for again?
Those are the ships. The one in the middle is the Scarab. The other two look similar to the Condor X-12.
Yeah.
So we'll call them the Condor X-11 and Condor X-10.
And the H's are for Hellhounds?
Mm-hmm. The brass hounds that are dropped in.
Oh, that's a problem.
Now, you hear shouts and screams from outside. The Army of Embers tries to fire, but out of what was launched by those siege walkers, the distance of probably easily a mile, Adraxa, as you look out from the walls of the cathedral, or the brass tower, you look and see through one of the open windows one of the bell towers in the distant city, north of Chiteka, is battered into a just raining cloud of debris and smoke as one of those spears that you recognized from the night before falls and rolls over some of the buildings in Chiteka. Panic screams ensue throughout the city. The city guards try their best to keep everything calm. Meanwhile, you also looking out the window towards the north, you see bolts of lightning seem to be scattered blasts of some sort of magical power coming from the Cathedral of Sand. Now, the rest of you. So, Zera, you see again a moment of choice. There's the you're still on the Strider, kind of in a position where it's hard for you to get to another unit, I would say, where you are. You could try and guide your speeder towards the Ferkendali fray. You can try and see if you can signal to the ship for support. You can try and take out a Krill Queen or
the W ship.
No, the X's. One of the X's.
Oh, one of the X's.
Yeah. The W, or now you see the W nearest to you is one of the siege walkers.
Oh, okay. And how hard does that look to take on? Pretty darn hard, right?
It looks substantial, but you also don't see ground troops around it, similar to what you saw with the.
And what? How many Striders do I? Not Striders. Yeah, Land Striders do I have with me?
2. One of them is behind you.
Yep.
One of them is with you, and the one behind is already harassing the Krill Queen and putting in some sizable damage to it. Actually.
Okay.
Although they have also been taking on some damage from the Krill bots that are harassing it as well. So they're kind of like driving like recklessly, trying to do evasive maneuvers as best they can.
How spindly does its little legs look? Right, there's like 4 of them, right?
Which one?
The
Krill
W.
Queen? The W? There are 2 Ws that you can see.
Sorry, no, wait. I have to keep toggling between.
It's okay.
Oh, I can only. Sorry, in the stream I can only see 1 W. Whichever W is closest to me.
Okay, yeah. So there's the W. It has 4 legs. The legs seem to have a fairly stable, wide stance. It's large. It's definitely large.
Alright, I don't know if there's much I can do about that one. Then, other than I have 1 cool spell left, but I don't think that's applicable here. So I think if I can, I'd like to signal the Landstriders to turn back around. I think we've got some time before they encroach too far. If we're lucky, we might not even have to fight people that far out.
Yeah.
So I want to come back in towards the Krill Queen and hopefully start. I want to get dropped off, or either dropped off by the wall or intercepted by a ship.
Okay, we'll say. Oh, which one would you prefer?
Whatever happens first.
All right, we'll say a ship. Why not?
Okay, yeah. So
All right.
I'll signal a ship. Maybe we'll meet at a Krill Queen and then go back. I don't know.
Okay. The speeder's kind of seeing like a clear path to the ships. You bank hard right
Yeah.
The speeder, one of the speeders behind, kind of. I'll say this: the speeder you're on, and this is the kind of the advantage of having mobile units. You can pick the L's. One of the L's can go after a target, or like each of the L's can go after one of the targets, right?
Okay.
And then we'll say that you are going back and to get intercepted by the scarab.
That sounds great. Whatever target the L's attack, I want them both to attack the same target. I don't want them to be singled out.
All right, which one? All right, looking at the map, what do you want to target?
They're both closer to the upper krill. I think let's make the top half safer so we can get our forces focusing on the bottom half.
Okay. So the one you're on banks hard right, goes back towards the middle X, the
scarab.
Scarab. The two, now with a pincer move, the two speeders go and converge on the Krill Queen at the top.
Which hopefully will help the Vanguard and the Fergandalis.
Yep. All right. Roll a D100 with advantage.
All right, I'm just gonna roll it twice because I'm on mobile. Okay, a 45 and a better than that. A 43. Damn, we
30.
consistent.
So, actually, no, 39. So close. That was so close.
We lucky, but we lucky.
So between the two of the Landstriders, I'd say they're able to bring the top Crow Queen down as it's ejected its krill, though, that are still live and running, flying about. The Krillbots starting to swarm after them. I would say one of the three people on the Striders to the north, on the speeders to the north, is actually harassed enough to where the thing latches onto him and he is pulled off of the bike and falls back, spinning in the dust, where the thing starts to latch in, killing him. Sickening moment as his friends scream, seeing him soon turned into salvage scrap, rising up.
Are those
like a
two?
marionette.
Is that two Striders or is that two groups of Striders? I mean, not Striders.
1 second, let me update the map.
Okay.
So you've killed a Crow Queen.
Yes.
All right, the top one.
Let's go.
All right.
Never say clerics aren't viable.
All right.
You're the heaviest hitter.
I am literally.
Alright.
I when I started 5e, I was like, I don't want to play the cleric. That's a stereotype. I'm like, cleric all the way. Let's go.
You deal more damage than me and Brunin combined.
As you're
When I'm lucky.
as the ship is swooping down low towards, over the battlefield, like just over the ramparts and everything, like kind of like almost like skirting the ground, just lifts up, and you are coming back on the speeder and everything. You see it, and you get this feeling that I want to be on that. You wave your hands, and soon enough, you see this like ladder. It's like kind of like rope ladder drop down behind the ship, kind of like drag behind it in the wind. You need to make a dexterity check to make this, or acrobatics. Acrobatics check.
All right. It's +2. Can I guide myself?
Yes.
I don't trust like that. Okay, so the first one was a 3. It's gonna be a disadvantage. Let's see if I roll worse than a 3. I didn't, luckily. So, hold on 1 sec while I smash some buttons. That's gonna be a 7.
No, unfortunately,
How do you wanna
try
do
to. Yeah, no, you try and you speed past, but like seeing like the ladder and everything. Oh God, you just didn't have enough time. You didn't talk to the pilot of the, or the guy driving, and
Cool.
you kind of like see something coming at him. He veers out of the way. So you reach and you nearly fall out of the speeder, and he kind of gets the feeling. Sorry, that was for you.
Nope,
sorry.
fine.
I'll turn around.
Should have
All right.
communicated better. Might be. I was too busy feeling cool.
Brunin, what are you doing? Are you holding your ground with the Fergandali, or are you doing something else?
I'm sticking with the Fergandali.
Okay, good. So, the Bronze Cuirass and Vanguard's now cutting down the good number of the Fergandali Knights. What do you do?
So, can I do a perception check to see, do I see any, strategic weaknesses or things that are best to do
Yes, make a
right
perception
now? All right. God, perception is always the worst. 10.
check. Okay. It's hard to say because it's in the fray of battle and trying to make a tactical, like a strategic decision about where to hit. Sometimes you're trying to look. Oh, another one's coming after you right now. Make a attack roll.
Just an attack roll.
Actually, no, it's going to make an attack roll against you.
Okay, fun.
Fortunately, a 2. You dodge out of the way, but you put aside any thoughts of trying to do something to gain an advantage at this. Roll a d100 again, minus 20.
So 57, 37. 37.
I rolled a 52. Figures. Now, unfortunately, the Bronze Cuirass starts cutting through some of the troops. The Vanguard kind of starting to surround you. Their numbers are evenly matched, but with the Bronze Cuirass coming into the fray, it's just, you just see it's sweeping. These men, you know, gleaming white armor in the sun, cut down. You need to try and do something quickly. Not trying to think about, you know, this or that. You need to take some kind of a quick action. You know this, but you push this one.
What's happening exactly?
You're losing.
We're just surrounded currently, being mowed down.
It's less of a surrounded as much as the unit's fallen into disarray. There's no cohesive wall of men or anything. It's just people are, you know, as for every single one of them they cut down, you know, there's another 2 behind them, you know, still lashing out. It's just there's no organization. It's gotten to that point of war where it's just a fray. You need to bring some kind of order and cohesion to this unit.
Alright, so Brunan's going to... Let's see here. One sec. Brunan tried to cast Bardic Inspiration on the entire, on everyone around him.
Yeah, Bard.
He just simply said, I have not used Bardic Inspiration in so long, I deserve 50 of them right now.
There's a
He
mountain.
has simply
It
been
doesn't
stockpiling for this moment.
It doesn't work like that.
I'm just asking.
It doesn't.
I
I'm
know,
just
but as a
asking.
player,
Also,
I
this is
try
completely
to
this is a
swindle you.
completely homebrewed battle that I threw at you guys last second. And also, Mike, you didn't use Bardic Inspiration for the entire first year of the campaign. So
That
I'll
is why I
say,
attempt the swindle.
although
Agandali,
there's not a cloud in
stand
the
your
sky,
ground.
but the rainy day that you've been waiting for arrives. There's a moment as you say this. A nod from one of the soldiers. He turns, blocks a strike, and then punches again, knocking back one of the Vanguard knights, who looks dazed. Immediately, something savage comes out of him. The kind of clean, crisp combat and martial prowess of these knights gives way to something animal-like, something. This is a fight for survival. They realize it now. And they knew. It's all easy to say, yes, I've sworn an oath to this and that. But as you yell these words, they come to this realization. This is their lives. They'll never see their homes and family if they don't get their shit together right now. And they do. You lose the minus 20 penalty.
Yes.
Roll a d100.
All right.
$51.
54.
Oh, yes! Just enough. It's a tense battle. It's not that you guys aren't taking losses. You are. The Agandali have been cut probably by a third at this point. But it's renewed fervor that comes from the little halfling in legendary armor. One of the first oath wants to take an oath. There's this moment as the tide turns yet again.
Fight.
Now, the Bronze Cuirass, kind of looking around, seeing the battle starting to turn, turns, comes towards you.
Oh shit.
Can I
Raises its
get your
blade.
turn? Good.
D100.
Jeez, can't roll for shit tonight. 23.
63.
Jesus.
So, I'll say this. You take... God, yeah, this is going to bleed. Oh,
He's like, hang on, I gotta get more dice.
right. 29 points of damage.
Jesus.
Okay.
Hold up, we're good. We're good. It's fine. It's fine.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm
Michelle.
doing
As the sword... Again, you just decided to head to the front lines. There's risks involved.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You are battered back by this thing. Knocked to
Can I
the
just
ground.
FYI, I assume, like, did you do an attack roll?
Yeah.
Because I have like
Or
an
no,
18
I decided to count it. I counted as it was targeting you, and this was
Okay.
the D100.
Oh, right, the
roll for that
D100.
round.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot what different rules.
Now, as it hits you, you look up at it. It raises its sword again to strike you down. As soon as it does, raises
Eldritch Blast.
No, as soon as it does, you don't have to worry about Eldritch Blast because
Okay.
3 fireballs at once strike it from the right, left, and directly in front of it.
Yes.
As you see now, kind of like looking up behind you, lying down on the ground as you've been knocked prone, you look up and you see sort of Scarlet Witch looking, right? Like you see Aya Tivara and a lot of the forces of the Army of Embers, as they're just forgetting about trying to take pot shots, and now they see the biggest thing they can, and they're throwing everything they can at it.
Just like I told.
I honestly
The-
thought you were going to say I looked up and I saw like Malik there. I was like, just so pissed.
No.
I was about to be ready with like a.
You know what's awesome about this moment right now? I picture like in the Feather House, just like Reggie and Yelorena are sitting there, like with their knees up in like their slippers and everything, sipping some tea.
Yeah.
The girl from Ipanema is playing gently on a boombox.
I love it. It's like the lo-fi hip hop scene, just like
Yeah.
Malik is just chilling.
Hopefully not ratting out our hot tub location. Sorry.
Arlington is just like, do we have any more salt pork? What kind of a nightmare is this? This is the worst day of my life.
Where do they disappear to for 3 hours every day? It's one house.
All right, so you
You said it, drunk Holfie.
So, I do it. Fucking whole thing, right? Now, you're right. All right, what was I gonna say? At the Tower of Brass, you hustle down the stairs now. What are you doing? You can try and help their engineering division try and recover if you wanted to stay in the Tower of Brass, or you can run outside to try and get to another part of the city.
Would Adraxa think that there's a threat to the Exodus by the obsidian dagger she saw go in the other direction?
Yes. Based on the fact that you know that it requires both the Cathedral of Sand and the Taskbrower, God, Brass Tower, thank you. Yeah, you also, given that you just saw there were a bunch of spells being cast in defense and offense and all that, the other side.
But she'll go after the other one.
Okay. Alright, you run across to the Cathedral of Sand. From there, you get down to the floor of the, Tower of Brass and hustle again. God, this is a lot of fucking running for staying in the same, city block.
Missed it.
You run across, and as you start running towards the tower, or the cathedral, it's a strange thing. Seeing it was already enough of an awe-inspiring sight from any point in the city, seeing the shifting sands moving. As you run towards it now, you look up, and you get a feeling that something has changed. The Exodus protocol is clearly starting to take effect, as you see the sands are still shifting kind of in graceful motions, but then once in a while, you'll see a corner of the building like pop into like a rigid, absolute shape, and then pop back into an undulating flow of sand. Something is happening within the cathedral. A building that you've never been to. You don't know where anything is in there. Not that you would really know anyways, being a non-magic user, more or less.
I'm gonna follow the screams and the trail of blood.
Okay, you run forward. The sands are much bigger than you thought. The massive spire, the tower going up, could be 200 feet, maybe more. It's enormous. You come to what you think might be the base of the tower, and looking for a door, you find none.
Do I see footprints?
Yes, you do.
Where do the footprints lead?
Directly into the wall.
Alright, I just run at the wall, full speed, Harry Potter.
You,
Book
yes,
one style.
exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. Exactly what you needed to do. As you pass through the sands and find yourself in what looks like a hall that was made of blown glass. Impossible to see. It looks strange, almost like a massive glass bubble. The dark brown sands outside, you don't see any of it. Instead, you only see a beautiful view of the entire city. Strangely enough, it looks like you're already off the ground floor at a high height. In fact, you look around and it feels like you're at the top of the building. It's so high up. What the hell has happened? Mages.
Fucking magic.
Okay. What do you do?
I listen for the same thing that happened in the last place, like screaming, a ruckus of some
Yeah.
kind.
Shortly after, you hear a man shout as he falls down. A bit of like you notice like now there's like these clear plate chandeliers hanging above. As he thuds to the ground, having fallen down from a great height. You look up and you can see there's crackling lights of green and purple. A volley of flame flies up, just scorching in a long ray along the wall.
A mage
And then
battle.
another scream.
This is
As
the last place I should be.
yeah, as a bit of another. You don't see a body this time. You see just an arm fall down. Another scream. A woman cries out, and then you see the arm, a bit of the cloak still, wrapped around it, fall limp to the ground. Find rings and adornments on it, almost like a henna-like tattoo, but blood seeping out onto the floor where the shoulder was severed. You run up the steps.
Yes.
Okay, you charge upwards. You see a man in a cloak, and he's tired. He's gripping his side. He looks at you. You're not from the school? Good, you could try something no one's thought of then. He puts his hand on you, casts haste.
Oh,
Okay.
I just wanted to be
You
hasted.
suddenly feel time seems like it stopped for just a moment.
I
There's
think I'm having a heart attack. Oh, I knew this day was gonna come.
It's a feeling more intense than the rages you felt before. As you look up, you get 2 attacks for every round that I ask you to roll. So, you look up and you do see indeed there is probably wrapping around this massive spire of glass. You look up and you see the stairwell goes up towards where you see the cloaked figure of another obsidian dagger. Mages above are trying to stop him from getting higher, but they're, pinned down as he's throwing daggers at them now.
I turn to the man who just cast this mysterious spell on me, and I say,
Thank you, Jolly St. Pierre, and I
take off like a rocket.
Okay. You quickly bound up the stairs. As you run up, some of the glass starts to shatter. Make a dex save. With advantage because you're hasted.
Hey! Also, I have that thing. Also, that sucked. 9.
9 with advantage?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so you start to head up, but the glass itself, part of what's going on with this building, it no longer is glass, but becomes sand beneath your feet. You start to fall. You just barely grab onto the ledge. Make a strength save to pull yourself up.
Okay. 14.
Yeah. Clutching it, like it's strange to feel that you're clutching at sand. Very luckily, you pull yourself up just in time as the staircase solidifies back into glass that surely would have cut your arms clean off if you had carried it for just a moment there. No time to think of that. You immediately jump up and start running back up towards this thing. You see the obsidian dagger throwing blades upwards like shurikens that just seem to be, kind of like pulls from its arm and launches just a ring of them, hurtling towards the mages who barely dodge out of the way. One of them would have been, pierced straight through the head, but cast a ward just the right moment. All right, you have a surprise round.
Oh, cool. How far away is it?
You're in range.
It's in range?
Yeah, because you're hasted and you're still running your ass off up the steps, so like double speed and everything. So pretty much you're dashing every round.
What's the terrain like that he's on?
It's a landing, so it's again like another spiral staircase that goes up, all glass, and then you can see that it gets to like this disc-like landing, like a short step, like an outcropping. There's bits of small columns around, like almost like you would see maybe about, thick as your forearm.
How many stories up are we?
Oh, you're probably about a good 70 feet.
Perfect. All right, I want to charge at it and attempt to restrain him. Like I want to
Okay.
try and grapple him. And
Strength check.
All right.
And it's contested. By the way, I realized something. I've been rolling a d12 all night, you lucky bastards.
You've been rolling a d12 instead of what, a d100?
Instead of a d20 for all the contested things. So,
That's
Oh,
why I
wow.
haven't gotten hit yet. That's fantastic.
Bastards.
well, good thing because he just rolled a nat 20 the first fucking time.
I just
Sorry.
got a 23, so what's his modifier?
Oh shit, 21.
Okay.
Ah, all right, yeah.
All right.
Good thing I haven't contested a d20 yet.
All right, so if that's a
Should've get
surprise round, then for my
22, but damn it. All right,
so for-
yeah, you grapple him. All right.
I'm gonna throw us both over the side of the railing. I'm gonna try and
The
land
bass
on
drops.
him.
Yeah, perfect. In time with the music. All right, yeah, you grab him and just. There's landings of glass below, same kind of thing of the chandeliers. There's a moment as you impact, the building becomes sand, and Stop comes back again, encasing the obsidian dagger in the glass beneath you.
Nice. So cool.
Immobile. Stop. Frozen. Dead. All right.
You wanna roll my fall damage? That's fair. I do stupid
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, no, you did. So that's what, 70 feet?
76.
Okay.
Play stupid games.
$16.
I love this game so much.
I'm sorry, what?
16 on 76, 16 points. I rolled like 3 ones.
I love this game
Like,
so
Bruno and
much.
Adrax have no sense of self-preservation and live, and then I just absolutely got obliterated in Icewind Dale.
Look, I paid for
Like, I
117
have
hit
to
points. I'm gonna use all 117 hit points.
Oh, you're
I mean, fucking do
selfless. Look at me, big frost giant. Splat. Yes.
Also,
It was a crit! I would have lived
Don't-
if it wasn't a crit!
the Cobalt
Don't
was
be
level 3. We're level
selfless.
12.
Yeah. You can't be selfless at level like 1.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought
Or 3 or
it was
whatever.
3 and I thought was shield.
Yeah.
Ain't no level 3 heroes, baby. Only level
Yeah,
3
not
wannabes.
a-
Cheers to that. Now I'm a
So-
weasel.
All right.
Love it.
So you have another chance now, as
Ooh.
the driver of the land speeder now sees the ship and all that. The ladder is still out, but it's moving around, back still across. He turns around. You have another chance. Make another dex check.
To get back on the... Okay.
Yeah, to climb or acrobatics. Yeah.
I would like acrobatics, please. I think
Okay.
it's still at disadvantage, though, because I'm tired.
No, it's going to be a straight roll because now the driver is actually helping you instead of like trying to dodge
Natural
out
20,
of the way.
baby!
Fuck yeah! All right.
I would have been...
You like
The last time I got, like, a
Time it.
natural 20 and, like, a 3, so...
almost like you're standing on like the hood of a car, like as it's driving. There's a moment.
I played enough Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 for this, let's go.
Exactly. You ollie at just the right moment, and
Welcome back.
again, cue that like bass drop, grabbing onto the swing just in time. You swing forward and everything, and then back as the speeder, takes off back towards the Crow Queen to try and take some shots at it.
Everyone imagine this is equally cool music as all of the last scenes.
Sorry.
It's like...
You're good. I would say you're holding on one hand, maybe drawing, holding your scimitar out.
Yes! Just like that!
Did it again!
Just
Hit him so hard I
One
killed
time.
the DM.
Go!
Oh my god. Is this how you win D&D? You beat the DM.
We beat the game!
Done it! We won D&D! My sick
All
moves
right.
were too cool.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi everyone, if you're
There you
still there, we need a better setup. We miss playing in person
Me too.
because of all this shit. And
What's
I
that?
just knocked my headphones out. I hate this.
This stream is brought to you by definitely not Micro Center or PC Part Pickers.
All right. So
Maybe like Pure One, I don't know.
you grab onto it, and as soon as you are,
Cinnamon.
as soon as you're holding on, you feel the ladder pull you up. It's moments later that you find yourself aboard the ship. There, you can see there's a number of soldiers and everything. Quite a bit of damage out there. They're all watching. It's outstanding.
That was most of the tricks on my my few trick pony.
Oh, welcome aboard the Scarab.
Thank you.
Take care of my
Alright.
ship, bitch.
What's our target, Captain? What do you think? You've been out there on the lines. What's the quickest thing we could take out?
I've weakened a Krill Queen, but honestly, I feel like as I double check
Krill
the
Queen!
damage, because I only have that's like
That bitch right over there. Let's take her out. All right. As
then
the
circle back.
Yeah, the Scarab goes. And
My human brain was too slow to process my
Okay.
human brain thought.
I'll say this: you have a choice. You can try to do You can try and do a bombing run or a gunning run.
And what would be the difference? Is one slower or faster?
I would say it's going to be a question of you can have more hits with lower damage, or more chances to hit with lower damage,
Yeah.
versus one chance to get it right, but with significantly more damage.
And will either of those affect it? Like, ideally, I would like to do a one and done because I think we need to loop back to the walls to reinforce and hopefully gather
Yeah,
before
so
this.
you can do either way. You can
Doesn't
either do
matter
like
what.
a banking gunning run, or you can do like a bombing and then twist back.
Um. And do I think, I mean, I don't know much about ships because I'm from the past, but do I think like doing a bombing and twist back would make us vulnerable, or do they seem like equally?
Hard to say. You're not. You're
Yeah,
just.
alright.
You could just. Let's just say
Alright,
it's one.
I'll
you have one
approach
chance.
it
Say like.
just like it's a
shoot
very
it,
big
or, like,
land
blow it.
strider.
Yeah, blow it up or shoot it. What do you say?
I'm gonna say like it's a very big lion strider. Like, throw one in and let's head back.
All right. So, the ship goes. So we're gonna take one chance. So roll a d20.
Switching tabs because laptop. Just a straight d20. Can I guide myself?
You can.
Or okay, thank you.
Guided missile.
Blessed. Okay, well it's garbage anyway. Unless maybe if I roll a 4 on this, I can get to double digits, but probably not. Let's go. 8.
8. Okay. Kind
Big
of.
money,
It's
8.
a lot to do all at once. They just picked someone up. They pulled up the ladder. They're opened the bomb door, and then they're going to try and prepare for a maneuver that they're not quite.
I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I don't understand how airship.
No. So what it'll do? Do me a favor. Roll a d100.
Okay. Oh, I just tried to use my mouse to get over to the iPad next to me.
How'd that go?
Ugh.
Good?
Yeah, it went great. I definitely did just get peanut butter on the keyboard. No, I didn't. But, you know. 66.
Minus 50. So, okay, because it missed more or less the exact target. Yeah, it missed the exact target, so it's going to be 16 points of damage the Croak Wing takes. So from some of the residual bits of debris and shrapnel that make it to it, not nearly as clean of a hit as you'd have liked. The captain,
alright.
you hear the captain yell like, "What the hell was that?"
I don't know how ships work.
No, you haven't done anything. That's the crew
okay.
that messed that.
Oh, okay. I was just rolling for
You're
the
fine.
crew.
Yeah.
Okay.
So kind of like you just issued a command or like a recommendation.
Yeah, it was like, I think we should take this thing out, and then I was like, well, or not, whatever.
All right. Now, bringing us back to Broden.
Mhm.
The Bronze Curus is staggered for a moment. You got your bell rung, being knocked back by this thing. You're fortunate enough that the massive blade it carries didn't cut through the armor, which is surprisingly very well made considering how old it supposedly is. Protected you from being killed, but definitely you're hurting. You're going to be hurting tomorrow. Oh God. Ow. But you can stagger yourself up to your feet, still holding the Blissbringer in hand.
Yep.
All right. What do you do?
Okay. Brunin is going
Actually,
to.
let me ask you this. Can you do me a favor? Make a religion check.
Yeah.
Where's your god now, Brunin?
5.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
He is somewhere.
Dead. Your god is dead.
Brunin is going to stand up, holding the Blissbringer, and wants to cast Thunder Wave. 4th level.
Okay.
So 15-foot cube, 2d8, but I'm doing it 4th level. So 3, 4, 5, right? 3, 4, 5. Can't do math right now. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5d8.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll.
5d8. All right, just do it here. They got to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, what's the 7?
Okay, so they fail. And they're pushed 10 feet away.
Okay. Actually, I'm gonna say, yeah. What was the damage on that?
15.
Yeah. How do you want to do this?
Terrible roll. All right. So, Brunin takes the Blissbringer, just pushes him back, casts Thunder Wave.
All right.
Body
Similar
just-
to I'll say like similar to the same kind of thing that happened with the first big statue side, colossal size bronze Curus. when they cross blades. Same thing happens, but instead this massive, thing raises up its sword again to try and strike you. The moment it comes down in what absolutely should have, killed you, you end up casting Thunder Wave. It locks behind the Blitzbringer, and then same kind of thing. There's like a tension. The blade is crossed, and you see as the Blitzbringer cuts the blade in half and sends 2 pieces of it flinging back, severing at the eyes the top half of the Bronze Cuirass's head.
Excellent.
Staggers back. This massive boom as it falls to the ground.
Is the Blitzbringer broken?
No,
Oh, okay. All right.
that's the thing, is that like you gave it the extra chop, cut through the metal.
Okay.
Now, on par with your rolling a 5 for your religion check earlier, if you had done better, maybe you would have remembered that the entire nation of Fergal, the Kristaki worshippers, view magic as vile, as sin, as taking a chance at making, at perverting what the gods created. So as you do this, as you cast Thunderwave and the echo comes out, the others look at you.
Those are
And
just my
there's-
biceps.
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
Deception check. All right.
Yeah.
So,
The world's best halfling body lifter.
I mean, he is
Or
very
weightlifter.
strong.
yeah, my first one was 32. Second was 18.
Ah, 32 is amazing.
I know. That's as high as you get. Yeah.
I'll still allow this. Most of them are just most of them are kind of like disgusted and everything, but they're too busy with the remaining vanguards that are still chopping away, hacking. They're almost through the fight, but the bear comes up to you and kind of like sidles up his remains of his kind of maul that's now a short hammer.
Yeah.
And he's
yeah.
got it over his shoulder, looks at you, picks the helmet off of your head, gives you this look. It's terrifying. That one was mine. Ruffles the top of your hair and puts the helmet back on you. Sap.
I thought he was gonna punch me.
He smiles and then knocks another one back. Seems indifferent. Flexible, we'll say. Morally so. And that, I think, ends round 3. Now, it's up to you guys, of course, as it is 12:15. So,
I got a call pretty soon. I'm sorry.
all right.
That
Is
makes
this
sense.
is this a good spot to call it? You think?
This might be a good spot.
In the middle of a war,
I'll
I feel
s-
bad.
I will say this. This is probably what I'll say to close it out. The cathedral sand starts cracking. Adrax, I'll say that satisfied that the obsidian dagger kind of like caught in between the solidified glass beneath you. You can see as the glass formed, it seemed to have like severed it in just the right spots that you're satisfied this thing's dead. You run back out the way you came, back out through this, waterfall curtain of sand pouring over. Zera, you see that the ship is starting to head back towards the city of Heegarisheil. Brunin, the last of the Vanguard Knights, cut down by the Fergandali soldiers. You few remaining who are triumphant, raise your blades and hammers and axes to the sky. The bear lets out a triumphant roar as he hammers down into the last foe that he'd slain.
Love this guy.
The looking back up for a moment, you see the cathedral sand start to change. The tower of brass begins to hum. This strange, otherworldly, deep, resonant hum. And what you see is... Hold on. Just a moment. You start to see the cathedral sand become not just a spinning spire of twisting sands and everything. No longer those little flickering glimpses of a solidified balcony here or, bulwark there. What you see is the entire thing starts emanating out. The sands lift up. The brass tower actually there's a sound as it hums louder and louder. Like you start to notice there's this that reaches just a fever point, and just with a flash, this immense light over the cathedral as the sands blow out into this sort of nothingness. And there's nothing there for a second as you're looking, Draxa, grateful that you just got out of the damn thing. And then it hits into this singularity. The little bit of sand then joined by more and more and more. Soon enough, you guys see... One second. You see the true shape of the cathedral revealed.
Yo.
What?
Let's see.
As-
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
The building's massive, floating. Probably, I would say, half mile to a mile cubed.
It's a Borg cube.
So awesome.
Enormous. It is.
Because this is the areas between two places, right?
What's
What
that?
were the two towers that this
Yeah.
area encompassed?
Kind of, yeah, like that entire stretch around, like the entire, like say, almost like 4 city blocks raise up, including the ground that you're standing on, Adraxa, start to rise up a bit. There's a moment, though, Zara, as you are there on the ship. You hear the captain. No. It's too soon. It's too soon. That is where we're falling.
No. Don't
He's
end
like,
there.
What?
And Brunan's stuck on the ground among a bunch of Kristakian worshippers that just saw him do magic.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Not to be like glad I got on the ship, but
Oh, nice. Thanks.
Zara's just gonna be like, all right.
oh, you're fine. I mean, you're on a
Beast.
thing too, Ajaxa.
Yeah, we're just going to the Burning Isles. Smell you later.
It's cool. Bye. Too bad I don't have Dimension Door.
Just jump.
Oh.
What's the problem? Fall damage is a joke. Just jump.
Yeah, just jump, man. Just jump. It's cool. It's cool.
Yo, good
Like-
game, guys. That
Wow.
was... I have never done anything
That
like
was
that
a
before,
time.
Matt. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Do you
cool.
like it?
That
Yeah,
actually
it
was
went way better than I thought it was gonna
Yeah.
go for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made it easy to find our learning curve for sure.
It was,
Yeah.
no, I was worried because I was like, I wanted to feel like a battle that's just getting more and more and more and more and
Chaotic.
more. And oh god, oh no, oh no, oh god, oh god, what are we doing? How do
I'm
I plan
glad
this?
you gave me the opportunity to jump more into the action.
Same. Oh, cool. I did
I
not
was
want
trying
you
to
guys.
play it kind of cool, but I was like,
Yeah.
no, we're the big damn
glad-
heroes. Let's
yeah.
go.
I did not want you guys sitting around a boardroom, shuffling pawns. I wanted you guys in the thick of it. So
One of those long rollers where you're pushing the pieces, yeah.
Well, Burning survives.
Oh,
the
man.
Drax is gonna have words for him.
95.
well, that was fun,
Yeah, that
That
was
was
really
awesome.
fun.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
man. I can't wait for next week. Or next week,
Sunday,
right?
right?
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yay.
This is not our usual time. Next Sunday, we'll do this again.
God, I feel like
Would
I
that be
go
the
until next Sunday.
24th? Yeah.
All right.
I feel like this was an amazing mini game we played that I want to keep playing for way too long, and then when we get out of the mini game, you're like, oh shit, wait, this is just a mini game. I
Yeah.
can't believe I got that absorbed. Like,
This is well, look at it this way. This is the first epic battle that I wanted you guys to remember. Well, all right, Ash and Mike, you guys would probably remember session 1, right?
Yeah,
the
the count-
Thomtillion battle outside of Flowhug.
Running for our lives.
Yeah. For anyone who was, you know, in that fight, that it would probably be something along this scale as far as massive siege type
Yeah.
thing to deal with. You guys just snuck out the back door. Well, the sewers, but
We were level 1. Yeah.
as level
Fun,
1
man.
characters
Oh, God.
do.
No
Yeah,
thanks, I choose
yeah.
life.
yeah.
I'm not ready for this.
All right, guys. For everyone watching, thank you.
Yeah,
Love
thanks for
you.
being
Thanks
here,
for
guys.
everyone
Really
that tuned
appreciate
in.
it.
That was
I'm
very fun.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
See you soon.
Good night, friends. Bye.
Right?
Good night.